on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East. We secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday.
Reporter Robert Berger in Jerusalem says once that happens, there will be some relief for Palestinians in Gaza.
When the hostages are released, which is expected early next week, I think we will see a huge surge in a humanitarian aid. That's part of the deal. Hundreds of trucks coming across the border. There's already plans to do that. The UN will be heavily involved in that.
Kaylee Ott reports from Tel Aviv. This is just the first part of the deal, and it gets more complicated after this.
There are still some more difficult elements of that proposal to be hammered out, like how Hamas will disarm, whether it will agree to step back from Palestinian politics, and who will govern Gaza. But all of that will come later.
Votes in the Senate today failed to end the government shutdown, and there are more delays at airports due to air traffic controllers calling in sick. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy on Fox Business Network said those who do so frequently could be dismissed.
We're also looking at if we have a continual small subset of controllers that don't show up to work and they're the problem children. Listen, we need more controllers, but we need the best and the brightest, the dedicated controllers.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said today they're purchasing more buildings in Chicago to work out of. Federal agents will double down, she says.
If we have to do it the hard way in Portland and Chicago, we will.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker.
We expect the president to follow the law. Do I also expect that they will push the law to its absolute limit, maybe even stepping over the line? Yes, and we will push back.
There's been another court hearing on Portland, as Heather Roberts reports.
Arguing for President Trump, Eric MacArthur again claimed only troops can protect Portland's ICE building.
For months, the ICE facility in Portland and the federal law enforcement officers who work there have faced a steady stream of violence, threats of violence, and harassment from violent agitators bent on impeding federal immigration enforcement.
Oregon's attorney argued violence in June was dealt with by local law enforcement. The justices said they would respond as quickly as they're able.
Checking the numbers on Wall Street at this hour, stocks have been lower all day. The Dow Jones Industrials are currently off 314 points. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Law enforcement agencies warning about budget cuts. Those concerns in just a minute. But first, Nate Connors has your KIRO News Radio traffic.
Thanks, Jillian. Kia of Everett has our update. We're seeing light volumes on all of our major routes this noon hour. Linwood to Seattle, just 20 minutes. Little crowding off and on between Northgate and downtown Seattle. North 5 slows from the West Seattle Bridge to I-90, and then you're going to break free. Federal Way, North 5 is starting to fill in between the Fife Curve and State Route 18 as drivers continue to avoid that mile-and-a-half thick backup on northbound 167 through Pacific. And if you're heading over Tiger Mountain, eastbound 18, we're down to about a 2-mile thick backup over the summit. Again, outside of that, we're looking really good out there. During the month of October, for every new Kia we sell, Kia of Everett will donate to local breast cancer research and support programs. Kia of Everett, simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. A man is fighting for his life after a late-night shooting in South Seattle. Police say it happened around 11 o'clock last night near South Winthrop and Chesty Boulevard. Officers found a 40-year-old man with a gunshot wound to his head and face. He was rushed to the hospital, but they don't know who pulled the trigger. If you have any information, police would like to hear from you. Some sheriff's offices across Western Washington are speaking up about possible budget cuts in upcoming years.
Being 45% of the county budget, I was asked to take about a $1.7 million cut in 2026.
Kitsap County Sheriff John Giese says that could break his already understaffed department.
We're very, very low staffed to begin with. We're also struggling with vacancies and people gone on protracted leave. So it's just been really painful for us right now.
He says low staffing is causing delays in response times and the deputies are stretched thin.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reporting. Kitsap County Commissioner Chair Christine Rolfe says we recognize the sheriff's staffing concerns are real and urgent. All departments and offices are facing similar pressures as we manage the gap between revenue growth and service demands. Get ready. It's do or die for the Mariners tomorrow. They take on the Tigers in the final 5th game of the American League Division Series. If you don't already have a ticket, you'll have to check resale sites. The cheapest are going for over $200. And Sound Transit is running special Sounder trains for tomorrow's night game. Trains from Lakewood and Everett will arrive at King Street Station at least 90 minutes before first pitch at 5:08. Ditching the car might be a good idea. There will be Revive I-5 closures on the Ship Canal Bridge later that evening, and 405 will have construction closures over the weekend. You can check mynorthwest.com for all of those details. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A high of just 62 today. Clouds thicken up overnight with rain chances tomorrow and a high of just 61. Overnight lows through the weekends in the high 40s and low 50s for the high. It's 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Thursday, October 9th. Spike O'Neill sits beside me, and he has no headphones for some reason.
I guess not.
Do we have something we can plug him into?
I guess I have been, it's been voted on by the population.
You have been voted off the island.
I've been voted off the... Ooh! Let me extinguish my cup here.
Fire represents your life.
Thank you, Laura.
My favorite show. All right, he's got headphones now.
Thanks, buddy. Somebody borrowed them, that's all.
Now he can hear me. There he is.
That's that last-minute entrance I like to make.
It's always nice that you roll in at 10 seconds after the show opener starts running.
Betcha, brother. I like to make an entrance.
There you go.
You know what this is right here?
It's coffee?
It's not dirt.
It's not dirt.
That's what this is.
We're not doing that again. Yesterday was a bummer for the Mariners. Spike drank dirt for the second day in a row, hoping that would contribute to the team's win. Obviously, it did not. I also ate pizza, which I'm not doing today.
I don't know how you're feeling today,
I probably
brother.
won't do it tomorrow.
It's still in the fridge, by the way. I hope it was from...
I don't know when that pizza's from.
I hope it was from Game 3.
All right. Obviously, the Mariners are playing here tomorrow. We have a lot of... We'll cover that a little bit today. Obviously, the game's not happening today, so we don't need to do quite as much Mariners coverage. Plus, they lost yesterday, so it's just a bummer. We don't want to bum you out.
God, no.
We're having somebody in next who's going to talk with us about the Mariners. I think there are signs. I think there are actually things to feel positive about and to feel excited about with the Mariners coming back to town. So we'll discuss that next. We always like to put a positive spin on things. All right. No positive spin for this first story. First things first, Seattle School Board has voted no. Explain this to me, Spike.
So,
let me give you some details.
Sure, by all means.
I meant explain the decision here. I don't understand it.
Yeah, sure.
Seattle School Board has voted no to bringing back school resource officers to their campuses. There was a question about whether or not, specifically at Garfield High School, where there was a student killed on campus just last year. This question had been asked by parents and by concerned students who wanted to feel safe and wanted to feel like it was an area where they were not going to be at risk, or at least a lessened risk, to have school resource officers brought back onto campus. They ended that program in 2020 following all those George Floyd protests, which I think was the wrong decision for them to take away school resource officers. I guess in Seattle public schools they're called SEOs, school engagement officers. So they ended that long-time program, and then after the student was killed at Garfield last year, there was this kind of groundswell of people saying, hey, you know what's not a horrible idea? Having somebody on campus who can protect people. And so they put forward the idea of just a pilot program, just to see how that would go.
Right.
Bring back school engagement officers for a year.
And just at Garfield.
Just at Garfield,
yeah.
Just to see how it goes. And if it goes well, which I'm sure it would, because they did it for years before they took them off campuses, then that program could possibly be expanded to the rest of the Seattle public schools. Now, I can tell you, there are a lot of other schools in the state who happily have school resource officers or engagement officers.
Yeah.
and it goes great. The officers are not there for disciplinary reasons. They're there to help make sure that everything is running well and smooth and safe on campus.
Say that part again. Just say that again.
They're not there for disciplinary
Thank
reasons.
You. We're going to come back to that.
Yes.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. And so Seattle School Board voted this down last night. They voted no to bring police back to Garfield High School. It doesn't surprise me because I don't often understand the decisions that the people in leadership positions in Seattle make. They're not the decision. It's almost like whatever our decision that I would come to is the opposite of what they decide to do in Seattle. And here is also the case. I am a parent who has 3 kids in public school. I am thrilled that my school district, one of many in the state, works with local law enforcement to make sure that the schools are regularly patrolled, that there's officers available, that they have resource officers to make sure that the kids and the parents feel confident that those kids are safe on campus. We've had so many stories recently, locally and nationally, of things happening on campuses where you go, man, either thank God that there was a school resource officer there, or wouldn't it have been great if there was an officer there and maybe a crisis could have been avoided. But this was a parent. I want to play you this audio. Get your take on this. This is labeled as a parent. This is from Como News. A parent spoke out at this public comment ahead of the school vote, which was last night, the board vote. And this is what this parent had to say about it.
Families appreciate having them on the campus and around, but don't bring them into school when you know we're working on the prison pipeline. You know that that's the cause that's going to send our kids to prison.
All right, so this parent is saying that this is the prison pipeline, and if the police are on campus, can you explain that to me? I'm not completely sure I understand the point she's making.
I don't want to misrepresent the parents' sentiments here, as I don't understand it either. Are they saying that just the police presence in school is going to contribute to what they deem to be? I understand the concept of the prison pipeline. I understand that the disparity felt by some communities that law enforcement is a little heavier-handed in dealing with certain areas of town, elements of our societies. I'm not going to try here to argue the prison pipeline theory, okay? But if they think that the presence of an officer in school contributes to that, that's the misconception that is keeping our kids from being safe in schools. Sure. As a resource or an engagement officer on site. Mm-hmm. The school board voted 5. Wasn't even close. Voted 5. Well, wasn't close. One vote makes it 4-3, makes it close. They voted 5-2 to not have this resource officer available for Garfield, even on a pilot basis. Most of the arguments against this was the misconception that these officers, the error, they're wrong. That these officers are there, they're going to be used in a disciplinary capacity.
They know that. But what's so crazy?
But that's what that was the reason they kept citing again and again.
The board knows that that's not the case because they approved an amendment recently that says they would keep officers focused solely on outside threats and not student discipline. They wrote it down.
It's the law. It's the rules.
It's the rules. Everybody acknowledged that they would not be there policing students. It's to protect the students from the outside crazy world, which happens all the time. Let me ask you a question. The person that we just heard from there a second ago, her name is Amijah Smith. She's a parent. I looked her up because I was like, that's a really strong stance to have about school resource officers. I'm going to play that one more time.
And about law enforcement in general.
Yeah, about law enforcement.
Inside or outside of schools.
That it's going to send our kids to prison just having a police officer on campus. Listen to this again.
Families appreciate having them on the campus and around, but don't bring them into school when you know we're working on the prison pipeline.
What does she mean by that? Having them on campus and around, but don't bring them into school. I don't know how that's possible, but let's continue.
Well, I mean, because they're allowed to be outside.
She says on campus, so they can be on campus, but not on school property?
But not in school. I thought that was the designation in this. Officers still allowed to be in the vicinity of schools, right, outside the schools, but not inside.
She's saying they're not allowed inside the buildings because that's going to send kids to prison.
That's
her argument that she's making.
Yeah, that's
the contention.
The theory that she's committed to.
Families appreciate having them on the campus and around, but don't bring them into school when you know we're working on the prison pipeline. You know that that's the cause that's going to send our kids to prison.
So this Amijah Smith, I didn't know anything about her. She's a parent, but I looked her up just to see. She ran for Washington House of Representatives in 2022. Her LinkedIn page lists her as she's an equity advocate. I wonder if her point of view is shared by the majority of other people in that school district. I would venture to guess that it's not. I venture to guess that most parents probably are pretty comfortable having resource officers, especially when, again, it's quite clearly outlined what they're there for, which is to protect students from outside threats, literally written down, outside threats, not student discipline. It feels to me like she has a different problem with police officers. Because I'm not a person who believes that just having an officer around means that they're going to be sending kids in a pipeline to prison. I don't believe that. I don't think the statistics would show that.
And I don't live in the community that these people live in. I understand they have different perceptions and experiential, perceptions of the law enforcement community. Maybe they have a negative experience with law enforcement. I don't know. I don't have those, so I can't see the world from their shoes. I'm going to try to be fair about it like that. My problem is with the Seattle, the board, who voted 5-2. Well, based on information they know to be wrong. I understand parents feel this way. It was parent after parent after parent after speaker after speaker after speaker who spoke to this board and said, we're afraid they're going to become disciplinary agents, and they used that misconception to allow them to vote 5-2 against this resource officer being on campus. This is an opportunity to teach this community that that's not what the resource officers are for, to build a better rapport between the law enforcement community and the community that they serve.
It feels to me like you have a very vocal bunch of folks who are very strongly against police officers.
Sounds that way, yeah.
And you don't have a lot of stats to back up what they're saying, that this is a prison pipeline. That doesn't make any sense. But the school board bowed down to that, and they said, okay, well, we don't want to be people who send kids to prison.
That's my problem. And
here's the problem. 24 hours earlier,
risk.
At another Seattle high school, 24 hours earlier, a 60-year-old man was arrested. Fox 13 had this story. This news was known before this meeting. Listen to this. I know how these school systems work. I guarantee you that they were aware that this happened. This was Tuesday night. The thing that we just played you from, that was from last night, and the board voting against having a resource officer. Imagine that in the wake of this news coming out. Tuesday, a 60-year-old man was arrested after police say he forced his way into a Seattle high school. At about 12:50 p.m. on October 7th, Seattle patrol officers responded to reports of a disorderly man attempting to enter a school in the 1700 block of East Union Street, according to police. There's those police who protect people. This is a story from Fox 13. The man, who officers said appeared intoxicated and was walking two dogs, pushed past a security guard who said he was assaulted by this guy at the school to speak with the principal. The principal told him to leave. Shortly after leaving the school, the man approached two teens sitting in a nearby vehicle. Police said he was armed with a knife in one hand and a gun in the other. So he had a knife and a firearm on him. The suspect reportedly yelled at the teens, telling them they could not park on the street. During the confrontation, the man reached inside the car, grabbed one of the 15-year-olds by the neck, and holding a knife as he grabbed the 15-year-old by the neck and pointed a gun at the teen. Again, this is just before Seattle school board members voted no for resource officers. The teens told officers that he feared for his life, but managed to break free, and then told the man he was going to call 911. The suspect then left the scene. Officers later found the suspect at his home. They asked if he had firearms. He denied owning any. They got a search warrant. They looked. They found two firearms. They took his dogs, gave him the animal control, took custody of the dogs. The man was arrested for investigation of burglary and felony harassment. He was booked into King County Jail. Now, if I'm a school board member and I'm voting on whether or not to put a resource officer, engagement officer, whatever they're called, at a high school, and 24 hours earlier you have what appears to be some sort of a deranged 60-year-old man with a knife and a gun making his way onto a campus, threatening teenagers and holding them by the knife with throat with a knife, wouldn't that be relevant to your vote?
I hate yes, I think it would be relevant. I think the decision should have been made even if that incident doesn't happen the day before.
Well, yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm with you.
Special because it did happen.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. The fact that they just had one day prior, a guy with a pointed gun and a 15-year-old in the car.
Yeah.
Grabbed another one by the throat with a knife, right? Grabbed another guy. And
assaulted a security guard.
And you're still listening to the parents,
Politician. This person's a politician. They're running,
And a quick sidebar. Good for her. I love parents that get involved. I don't agree with her stance on this, right? But she ran for office. She's involved with her kids' education. We keep hearing again and again how parents are just divorced from the involvement in their kids' education. And that we had a story yesterday about soft parenting, how parents are never given their kids boundaries or discipline. Mm-hmm. And they go to school and teachers can't handle the mess that shows up in their classroom every day. I love that parents get involved. But this school board letting their decision be based on misconceptions and missing this opportunity to teach this community, first off, what the law enforcement community provides them, what they're there to do, the fact that they work to serve this community. It's probably on the side of the car. The fact that they let that say, well, we're not, and one of the school board members, we don't have the actual data. One of the school board members says, well, we got more work to do on this. There's too many unknown questions here. Well, then do the work.
It seems
do the work and answer the questions and provide the kids a safe environment to learn.
This was already pushed back from a prior voting time, and they said, well, we want to gather more evidence.
Right.
What are they doing? I don't understand what they're doing.
Still more work to do?
And it feels to me like they gave into an activist community who said that we don't like cops.
Absolutely.
And now you don't have cops at that school. And we played audio recently of students at that school asking for resource officers.
The principal of that school, one of the board members did state, look, I'm voting yes for this. One of the 2 yes votes said, because we were asked by the administration for help. We had the opportunity to provide help for this school.
But they said no.
The resource officers are there so that the community knows there's an armed resource officer in school. This is a protected, safe environment.
Let me ask you, do you think the school board was so afraid of being voted out of their jobs that they did the wrong thing here?
I can't speak to their mentality about what their motivation was, but I would, if it was just my opinion, I don't know, I got nothing to base it on, but yeah, I think they're afraid of the backlash of voting an officer, a resource officer in, and a community that continues to ride this perception that the law enforcement community is an adversary.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I do have a fun idea, though. I actually can't, because I'm a problem-solving guy.
Yes, you are.
You and I like to solve problems.
We do.
We have
crimes.
And crimes.
Yeah, but not
problems and crimes.
Yes.
We have this group in Seattle called the CARE Team, and they have recently been complaining and saying, like, hey, you know what? Like, we have all this funding. We have 24 people. Mayor Harrow wants to double our ranks to 48.
Right.
And we're not allowed to respond, or Seattle police have been reluctant to bring us along on calls, 911 calls, to respond to mental health episodes or drug episodes or things like that. And so they're just kind of sitting around twiddling their thumbs. And I thought to myself, like, why don't you just stick these CARE people on campus, send them a couple of Care Bears?
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky?
So, like, a crazy guy goes on a campus, he's got a knife and a gun.
Here comes
Care Bear shows up.
Boom. Rides a rainbow into the scene.
Rides a rainbow into the scene.
Yeah.
Sings him a song.
Gives him a hug.
Gives him a hug.
A warm, fuzzy hug.
A warm, fuzzy hug. Solves all problems. And then this parent doesn't have to think about pipelines because it's Care Bears. I like it. I think it's actually kind of a fun idea.
I love that you're solution-oriented. I really do.
The funding's already there.
Heartbroken by this story. I really am. That this community had an opportunity to build a bridge to law enforcement, to mend a relationship with the law enforcement community and their residents, their students, especially at an early age.
Yep.
But no, these kids are getting a message from the parents that cops can't be trusted, that law enforcement is just a means for them to get to prison. That's the message these students are getting.
That's what the school board believes because they voted it down. That's what they said.
It's frustrating.
They said, that's the cause, going to send our kids to prison.
I don't want to paint the whole school board with that mentality.
Why? They voted it down 5-2.
Well, I think it's more likely that they were afraid to lose their positions on the board.
Well, then that makes them complete wimps.
Milquetoast, weak, worthless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Way to lead from behind.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
We see a lot of that these days. We really do. Not just on this particular school board.
I have recently had experience with a scary situation on a school campus where we were so thankful that we had police nearby. Yes. And I can tell you that as every parent in the community, I literally called up to the police and I said, thank you guys for what you do.
No, you're kidding me.
Yes. It was it's just, and these things happen. They just happen.
Far too often they happen.
Far too often. Just like we saw in this case on Tuesday night. 6-year-old guy with a knife and a gun. They're there to protect people. They're not there to send you, like some activist wants to tell you, send your kids to jail. And the idea the Seattle School Board gave into that, I think it's a real mistake. And I hope that they don't regret it. I hope that there's no more incidents. But time and history would tell us that that's probably not the case. But I hope that they're safe and that they can keep these campuses safe. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about Mariners next. And I thought it'd be fun to get Aaron Granillo in here. There's no bigger Mariners fan.
No.
He was actually gone yesterday, and I'm wondering, did he take the day off to watch that game?
He may have been sick. I don't know what kind of day.
Sick.
I don't know what kind of day
Sick.
he used with management.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that he maybe wanted to dedicate his day to his ball club.
All right, we'll get to him next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Integrity Roofing and Construction. I've been telling you for about a week now that this month, October, Integrity Roofing and Construction, through their Integrity Cares program, is giving away a free roof to a family in need. That's right, not a patch job, an entire roof replacement to a family in need. If you'd like to nominate someone, if you know someone that could benefit from the peace of mind, the protection the new roof provides, go to integrityrc.com, look for their philanthropy page, Integrity Cares, and nominate someone deserving of a free roof. Integrity RC, because doing the right thing matters.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money? What an imbecile.
Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Have you stopped to think about how you feel today compared to, say, 10 years ago? Are you noticing changes? Less energy, slow recovery, trouble focusing, maybe even weight gain? What if you could turn back the clock and feel stronger, sharper, and more alive? At Longevity Medical Clinic, we help people do exactly that. For over 3 decades, we've been helping thousands of men and women find out what's really going on inside their bodies and take action to feel better and live longer. With advanced diagnostics and personalized hormone and supplement plans, we uncover what's been holding you back and show you how to optimize your health. Our patients often say, "Now I finally understand what's happening and what to do about it." Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better. Live longer. Let's do it together.
You're miracle workers.
Don't know about that.
My drain was clogged.
Right.
You came in a jiffy.
And got right to work?
Now it's clear.
It's what we do.
Like I said, you're miracle workers.
Actually, we're plumbers.
Apollo plumbers.
You want to see some real miracle workers?
Huh?
Just take a look at Seattle Children's.
Sure.
They're all hope, care, and cure.
All true.
And together, we can help them.
How so?
Your service fee?
Yeah?
Apollo Plumbing is donating it.
To benefit Seattle Children's Hospital.
We're donating all our service fees.
All month.
To help Seattle Children's provide outstanding care and support research.
And ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
That's the goal.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love the work they do at Seattle Children's.
So I call, you come.
Apollo donates your service fee. All our service fees.
All month?
All the way to $20,000.
That's so Apollo Plumbing.
Always ready, right now.
You really are miracle workers.
Aren't we all?
Maybe so.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. Joy, hope, and some skepticism, all part of the rainbow of emotions in Israel and Gaza as news of a deal for peace and a return of hostages emerges. Here's CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
In central Tel Aviv, a bottle of champagne was popped open and cheers rang out as word spread that the Israeli hostages would be released on Monday or Tuesday. The deputy director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, Edward Ahmed Mitchell, says the agreement gives him hope for the Palestinian people, but he'll be watching Israel's actions closely.
We have to make sure that this agreement is implemented fully and fairly and justly.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
9 days into the federal government shutdown, is there a glimmer of hope? Yesterday, KIRO News Radio asked Senator Patty Murray if she had spoken to Washington's 2 Republican representatives in Congress.
Well, the 2 House members are home on vacation, so they're not here. So that is challenging. If they were here, I would say to them, in your congressional districts, you have the most people per capita who rely on tax credits and Medicaid who are going to be suffering.
Republican Representative Dan Newhouse responded that he is in D.C. today. His office tells us he's working to set up a meeting with Senator Patty Murray, and we will bring you updates if that happens. After issuing a temporary stay, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals held a hearing Thursday on whether to overturn a lower court's order blocking the federalization of Oregon's National Guard.
Arguing for President Trump, Eric MacArthur again claimed only troops can protect Portland's ICE building.
For months, the ICE facility in Portland and the federal law enforcement officers who work there have faced a steady stream of violence, threats of violence, and harassment from violent agitators bent on impeding federal immigration enforcement.
Oregon's attorney argued violence in June was dealt with by local law enforcement. The justices said they would respond as quickly as they're able. Heather Roberts for CBS News, Portland, Oregon.
King County speeding things up in the courtroom. Prosecuting attorney Lisa Mannion says her office will now decide on charges within 30 days. That's for adult felonies and any case involving a juvenile suspect. Let's check in with Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio Traffic.
Thanks, Jillian. Seattle Sports has the update. We're looking good out there. No crashes or major blocking problems to report. Linwood to Seattle still hovering around 20 minutes. It's getting crowded between Northgate and downtown Seattle, but you're at freeway speeds here. North 5 slows now from the Michigan curve to I-90. Again, northbound 167, they've got about a mile and a half bumper-to-bumper backup heading through Pacific, adding 10 minutes to your drive. WashDOT just announced this morning that they're going to move forward with opening a second lane over the weekend. What this is going to do is shut down northbound 167 in Pacific from 10 p.m. Saturday through 6 a.m. Sunday, weather permitting. Heading over Tiger Mountain, eastbound 18, you've got 4 miles of scattered backups from the summit over to Raging River from roadwork. And looking at Tacoma to Olympia, we're looking great. Just a half-hour drive. Got a little slowing as you head into Olympia. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A high of 62. Very cloudy today. Even more cloudy tomorrow with chances of showers and a high of 60. It's 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, yesterday was not a great day for Mariners fans. We had a lot of hope going into the game. Yeah. Some of us even ate dirt to try to sway the outcome.
Yeah.
Just didn't happen for us. They ended up losing 9-3. Was that the final score?
9-3, yeah. We rattled off took an early lead, and then they rattled off 9 straight.
Aaron Granilla joins us now. Mariners super fan, all-around nice guy. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back from your sick day, too. I hope you're feeling better.
Oh, poor guy. Did you have a tummy ache yesterday, Aaron?
Blue
poor
flu.
little baby.
Little blue flu.
You know, I had this day off planned for...
It was a vacation day.
No, actually it wasn't. Seriously, I was actually helping my mother out at a...
At a ball game?
At a doctor's appointment.
At a watch party?
I was... My watch party was at a waiting room at a clinic at the hospital.
You were a good... Look at you.
All right, he's a good son-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there were a few of us watching the game on our phone.
Wow. Doctor, I hope
talking during the game, yeah.
All right, so what was your feelings about yesterday? People, here's the feeling that I'm sensing from people. Everybody got really excited yesterday, maybe a little ahead of their skis, thinking it was just a lock. And at least this is how I felt. And then they lose, and then you're seeing a lot of folks going like, oh man, now they got to play Skubal again. Yeah. They got to face off against him, and we're so worried about it, and can't possibly, and he's coming back. What are your thoughts on it? Are you optimistic on Game 5, which is tomorrow night at 5:08 p.m.?
I think anything's possible in the playoffs. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I'm not going to make a prediction. It can go either way, and I know that's not taking a hard stand or anything, but it's the playoffs, man, and you've beaten Skubal 3 times, so you feel good about that. The crowd is going to be electric, and yes, I will be in the stands tomorrow night.
Oh, you're going to be at the game.
Just pulled the trigger on tickets with my wife. So
shout out, by the way,
to our news director, Frank Lenzi. Such a friend, because he's actually taken over for me so I can leave early.
He's going to fill
tomorrow.
your shift.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
So shout out to Frank. Much appreciated.
What time are you heading down to the game?
After my 4 o'clock newscast. I will be here at 4 and then leaving right after that.
That's going to be tight. That's a 5 o'clock game.
I'll be all right.
Are you worried about parking? You're going to take the light rail?
I'll probably stop at a light rail station and then just hop on the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first pitch is at 5:08 p.m., which is nice because the Yankees lost, which is also nice, and so we don't have to play. We were going to have to play at what, like 1:40 or something?
Yeah. It would have been right in the middle of your show.
Would have been right in the middle. I would have missed a good chunk of the game, and then I would have got stuck in traffic. And
I would have seen a good chunk of the game, and I'm not going to eat any more dirt.
Yeah.
But yesterday I fell victim to the 3-0 lead and the comfort of it, and I drank my dirt. They're up. I couldn't control myself. Mm-hmm. I started watching the games, and I tell you, man, when I watch, they lose. I'm telling you.
You did. You looked up at the screen, and they hit a home run. I'm not joking.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm thankful for the 5 o'clock start tomorrow. I'll do something else. I'll tape the game, and if it's a wonderful finale, I'll go back and watch it post like I usually do.
Sure.
If they lose, I don't bother waste my time in the 3 hours.
You just try to swallow it down.
And with regard to the Tigers yesterday, right? Cal Raleigh put it best. He said, what do you expect from a team who's this is the playoffs? There's a lot of fighting. He's like, there's a lot of fight in that dugout over there across the way. Yeah. Of course, these guys are going to go away easy. When they get down 3-0, they didn't say, oh well, it was a fun ride. Season's over. No, that's the thing about baseball. Every pitch. Till your last strike, you're alive.
Yeah, I mean, they had a chance even in the 9th inning, and it didn't happen for them. And, they wouldn't be the first team to come back in the 9th inning. But
there are no bad teams in the playoffs right now. Everybody is competitive, and Detroit was the best first half team in baseball.
And best record in July 14th, I think it was.
It's
the best record in baseball.
Postseason. It's a brand new season. Yeah. Anybody can get hot at any given time. That is why no lead is safe in baseball. I don't care if you're up 3-0. I don't care if you're up 10-0.
And it's that
there
magic.
Are no good, safe leads.
Those highs make yesterday. That's why it hurt so bad yesterday. Because we all got so caught up.
And then they had an early lead, and it felt like, this is just going exactly the way that we want it.
He's online buying tickets to the ALCS. Bada, bada, boom.
So here's, I like to put a positive spin on everything in life if I possibly can. Attitude is everything. It really is. Just deciding to have a good attitude changes your life. Here's great things. We possibly tomorrow night, likely, in my opinion, we get to see the Mariners win.
How amazing.
How amazing. I mean, you don't want it to come back to a Game 5, but they do get to have a Game 5 in front of Seattle fans, which is fantastic. They've beaten Skubal how many times this year? 3?
3.
How many times they faced him?
3.
Okay, so
do you know how
they
many
own this
other
guy.
fan bases aren't getting a game 5 at home?
I was about to say.
26 other teams don't have this opportunity.
Back in February, when we're walking into spring training, you say, how about you get one game to get to the ALCS? We'd all taken that bet.
At
We'd
home?
all taken
Sure,
that.
at home.
Heck
Boom.
yeah, man.
Yeah, against
Take
the guy you beat 3 times this season.
Yeah.
So this is the attitude everybody should have. Oh, my audio's playing here. Do we have audio here, Andrew? Can I play some audio? There we go.
They said you gotta accentuate the positive.
Just keep playing this in your head. Just feel good about it. Head down to the stadium.
Is that Perry Como again? You really got a Perry Como thing. don't you?
Anytime I'm feeling edgy in life, I just go to Mr. Como.
Yeah.
Nice.
Makes me feel better.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they've beaten this guy 3 times. So what are we sweating? I mean, yes, is he going to win another Cy Young? Yes.
Yeah. Anything
Second
can
year in a row?
happen.
Yes.
Granillo said it. Anything
It's
can
one
happen
game,
in baseball.
man. It's one game.
For it all. Gotta love it.
It doesn't matter what happened in the 3 previous starts. It really doesn't. He could shut you out, or you could tag him for 5 runs early. You just don't know. This is a guy also who threw 100-plus pitches in his first starting in the playoffs, and then 90-some-odd against us, 4 or 5 days ago. So he's thrown a lot of high-stress pitches the last few outings. He's going on normal-ish rest. He last pitched on Sunday, so
Do you think?
at home, we'll see, man. We'll
do
see.
you think the fact that he's a Seattle U product is going to work in his favor?
Well, it hasn't yet, right?
I hear he's got skeletons in Seattle. I've heard rumors. I don't want to spread rumors. I'm not a rumor guy. I'm not a rumor guy.
Have you heard that?
He might not be the best character individual in the game today. I've heard things.
Okay.
And I don't want to spread unsubstantiated rumors.
These are
but
just
I
allegations.
think it's a shadow of guilt that covers him
Allegedly.
when he plays
Realistically,
Seattle.
strategically speaking, like how you want the game to go. I don't know if they've announced their starter for the Mariners. I think it'll probably be George Kirby. You are likely going to score 1 or maybe 2 runs at most against Skubal. That's
Scored,
probably
3 last time?
is what's going to happen. They scored 2 against Skubal, and then
the
3 in the
bullpen got the winning run.
That's right.
But realistically, you expect Skubal to go at least 6. I think that's probably what you expect to happen. Give up a couple runs, keep it tight, and then make it a bullpen game the last 3 innings and see what happens.
What the Mariners have done when they've been successful this year is play discipline, making guys pitch deep into every at bat, making him throw a bunch of pitches. You said, and getting to their bullpen.
That's the game plan. You got to just keep it close through 6.
I want to play this because it was 30 years ago yesterday, and we played this on the show yesterday. But it just puts a lot of good vibes out there. This is the Edgar Martinez famous hit, 1995. Here it is again. This is what fans tomorrow have the opportunity to live for themselves. So let's all just close our eyes. If you're in the car right now, don't close your eyes. But just sit back and enjoy this and try to remember. I'm going to ask you real fast, Aaron, because Spike and I were talking about this yesterday. Where were you when this hit happened?
I was at home watching. I was 7, and actually I do have a memory of this.
Yeah,
so
I do too.
Yeah. I'm only 7. I still remember it though. 7 years old.
What? Tell me about that moment when it happened.
Well, I mean, it's one of those 7-year-old sort of like snapshot memories in your head. But you're at home with your family just watching and jumping up and down, not really understanding the gravity of the moment.
But you get that everybody is over the moon.
Exactly.
Super excited.
And then, of course, in retrospect, you're like, wow, that was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, here it is again, and we could have this tomorrow night as well.
They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior Speed, the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and lined down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Ripped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
Oh, my gosh. Take a deep breath, everybody. Tomorrow is a brand new day. You got one game at home against the pitcher you beat 3 times.
Yeah, man.
The Mariners are hitting out of their minds, even though yesterday wasn't great. Cal Raleigh, go look at his postseason
Raleigh's
stats.
been great.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
As are like 4 other guys on the team. Yesterday, not so great, but
seize the moment.
It's going to be fun tomorrow. Seize the moment.
That's the motto.
Seize the moment.
Let's go.
All right, Aaron Granillo, thank you so much. We got a lot more coming up next. A local town is getting their own Monopoly game. A local city. It's not Seattle.
What?
We'll tell you about it next. Stick around.
What?
can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
you could do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. So my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO News Radio app.
It's always such a pleasure for me to catch up with you, Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And as I understand it, calendar year is wrapping up. There's never a better time to take care of your aches and pains. Why?
Well, it's always a great time to come see us here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We'll take care of your aches and pains. We'll get you better. But particularly, Brock, at the end of the year, most people have met their deductibles. They may have HSA, may have FSA funds. So use the opportunity to use your insurance to treat those aches and pains so you're not taking them into the new year. So you're healthy, fit, and you're excited about the new year. That's what it's all about. Here at IRG, we are so dedicated to making sure our patients really understand the insurance because it's a complex world. So when you call us, we're going to help you navigate your insurance. But I will tell everybody listening right now, if you've met your deductible, get your aches and pains treated here at IRG. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your insurance. We'll take care of your family. We'll take care of everybody.
Clinics up and down the Puget Sound for you to go visit or see them online at irgpt.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20th. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, you play a lot of board games?
I actually do. I played board games this weekend.
Wait, really?
We did. We're down on the beach. We played
Settlers of Catan or something?
We used to have game night once a month with extended family. We stopped doing that a couple years ago. People moved and left us. But we played this weekend. We played a few card games this weekend, actually, as I think back to my weekend. It was more card games than board games this weekend.
Sure.
I grew up playing Risk. We used to have weekend-long Risk games when I was a teenager.
I've never completed a game of Risk in my life.
Started but never completed.
Yeah.
We would start Friday afternoons and be done Sundays.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk starting that game.
It really is. It's
because
fun.
It takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
It is fun. I grew up playing, I played a lot of Life when I was a kid.
Yeah, Game of Life.
You remember, did they have Mousetrap when you were a kid?
Sure. The whole construction of the game is half the fun.
That's half the fun. So that commercial, I don't know if there was ever like a better advertising gimmick than the commercial for Mousetrap. The game was kind of tedious to set up. It never looked as cool as commercial, but the commercial was awesome. So I played a lot of Mousetrap. I do enjoy board games as well. Right now we're playing a lot of like little kid games because I have little kids.
Sure, yeah.
So like the last board game that I played was do you ever watch the show Bluey? You know Bluey?
I know Bluey. I haven't played the Bluey board game yet. My kids are a little older for Bluey.
Yeah.
My dog loves Bluey, by the way. My dog
And your dog probably wouldn't love the board game of Bluey.
Yeah,
because you have to go around and like find things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, but speaking of board games, Monopoly is a game I love playing Monopoly. I love the idea of playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
The actual playing of Monopoly always ends up just turning into just waiting until somebody gives up, and then the last one who's just willing to play the longest wins the game.
Like Risk. It's a war of attrition. It really
Completely,
is. Yes.
100%. Yeah. We introduced it recently to my sons, and one of my sons is really obsessed with winning things, like really, really obsessed. So he will stick around and collect all the money. He's very good at Monopoly because that's what you need. You need somebody who's obsessed with winning money. So he will happily play it. But everybody else just kind of goes, meh. Like after a while, they get sick of it. But Monopoly has announced they're going to do, you know how they do like theme games?
Sure, yeah.
We have a Star Wars version, which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably have that as well.
We have a couple different versions. We have Star Wars. My wife has a Marvel version.
Oh, that's fun.
You know,
yeah. They make different versions.
We had a Hello Kitty version
Really?
from years ago. Yeah, when the kids were young.
Starbucks going to sell a Hello Kitty.
They got everything else. Might as well put one of those in there. You bet.
Everywhere else, yeah. So Monopoly has announced they're going to do a new city. They do U.S. locations sometimes. They have one in Memphis. They have one for Baltimore, Nashville, and the new one that they're going to be coming out with, according to the story, is going to be $39.99. Bellevue. There's going to be a Bellevue Monopoly. I was surprised. I mean, Bellevue has a lot of beautiful real estate. It's very nice. It's not as well known in the area as Seattle.
They don't have a ball club.
They don't have,
right. They don't have three of the big four.
Yeah, like what are the big items that you're going to be? What's the Boardwalk and Park Place equivalent in Bellevue? Is it going to be somewhere around
Bellevue
the mall?
Square?
Bellevue Square,
Nordstrom's
probably.
will be a player. You know, businesses have to bid or they have to
Great
invest.
advertising.
It is.
Yeah.
My old beach hometown of Ocean City has an Ocean City Monopoly's authorized Ocean City Monopoly game coming out, and it's businesses can buy their place on the board. It's great lifelong advertising. You bet.
100%. But Seattle, notably, does not have one.
I wish we get one. Can you imagine the cards? You've been tagged with graffiti. Spent $200 to clean up, right?
Everything is just a tax.
A chance card. Oh, you had an unlicensed ballpark dog.
You were caught driving.
Mariner dog.
In the
Go
new toll
directly
lane.
to Harborview Hospital.
You have been. Every card is just like you have been told. You have been told.
Pay $17.
Property tax. Local politicians are giving themselves
Bottomless
a raise.
property tax, and the whole board's in varying
Contribute
shades.
$500.
The whole board's varying shades of gray.
There you go.
Every square around the board is just more gray, more gray, more gray, more gray.
All right, Bellevue Monopoly coming soon to you. All right, a very familiar voice was in the White House yesterday when something historic happened.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
We are Subaru of Puyallup.
We're stress-free.
Stress-free. Estamos libre de estrés.
We're almost 100 employees strong. We make sure the sales process is smooth.
We have video car walkthroughs.
We have stress-free pricing. We value our customers and we value their experience.
We're like a family here. We love our community.
And support local charities. We are
Subaru
of Puyallup. Your
stress-free
dealership.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Buy more, save more at Dania Furniture. For a limited time, save $200 instantly for every $800 you spend in our showroom. It's the perfect way to complete your look for less or splurge on your dream piece for your living room, dining room, outdoor space, home office, or bedroom. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at DaniaFurniture.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Every Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Israel and Hamas have agreed to a pause in their war in Gaza and the release of all hostages. President Trump today.
Something that nobody thought was possible, and we're going to end up having peace in the Middle East. Who would have thought?
At the UN, Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
For Israelis and Palestinians alike, this deal offers a glimmer of relief. And that glimmer must become the dawn of peace, the beginning of the end of this devastating war.
Reporter Marbert Berger in Jerusalem.
There's relief on the Palestinian side and some celebrations, but it's pretty subdued because even though people in Gaza are very happy to see an end to this war, to be honest, they don't really have a whole lot to look forward to. Gaza has been completely destroyed, and most people's homes have been destroyed. It's going to take years and years just to rebuild.
In Washington, votes failed again today in the Senate to end the government shutdown. Troops will soon miss their first paycheck. The Senate could move to pay them separately, but Torian Small reports the House Speaker now says that's a non-starter.
Earlier in the week, we heard from Speaker Johnson. He said that he would be open to entertaining that idea. Just yesterday, a complete 180 on that, saying that Democrats had the opportunity to pay military members during the Clean CR bill that passed the House a couple of weeks ago. They passed on that, so he says he's not willing to give them what he's calling a show vote on just military pay.
And it's not just the military. Lee Sinclair is with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank in Charlottesville, Virginia.
There are about 7,000 jobs that are tied to or influenced by these federal shutdowns. For those people, they're living in a state of uncertainty right now and trying to figure out what they're going to do.
There were court hearings today over National Guard deployments in Portland and Chicago. CBS's Nicole Scanga was following.
In the case of Oregon, the court's going to decide whether the National Guard can be temporarily deployed to Portland as this issue of emergency powers really plays out in the courts over the next few weeks and months. And we're waiting on a similar ruling in Chicago to determine whether National Guard forces stay deployed or are blocked. And we know there are already 200 Texas National Guard troops on the ground, and there are 300 Illinois National Guard being mustered right now.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said today the feds are looking at more buildings to purchase in each city and are prepared to double down. On Wall Street today, stocks finished lower. The Dow Jones Industrial is off 243 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Where's the dangerous stretch of highway in Washington? We'll give you an idea in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic.
Hey, thanks, Jillian. Washington 811's got the update. We've got a new collision in the U District, South 5 and Northeast 45th. It's been moved over to your left shoulder, but it's right next to the main line, and you're backed up to Northgate Way. Linwood to Seattle has gone up from 20 minutes to a half hour. North 5, you're going to jam up just briefly at the West Seattle Bridge. Our lake bridges are wide open in both directions. Starting to see volumes pick up now, southbound 405 through Factoria, and again near the VMAC in Renton. All added up, Bellevue to Renton is still looking good at just 20 minutes. And out toward Tiger Mountain, those earlier backups on eastbound 18 have all cleared out. And that's a story for the rest of our map. We're looking really good out there. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. A 10-mile stretch of I-5 in Pierce County is the most dangerous stretch of highway in our state. That's according to data compiled by Seattle Injury Law. The 10-mile stretch between South 38th Street and State Route 18 saw 22 fatal crashes and 25 deaths between 2019 and 2023. State Patrol Trooper Cameron Watts.
We're going to be putting on patrols and extra emphasis in the area and just having more of a focus on this stretch of highway.
Trooper Watts says big rig traffic, speeding, construction, and distracted drivers are all to blame. The good news, fatalities were down last year. A whistleblower complaint alleges King County's Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention hired more than 100 correction officers with expired or invalid work visas. KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granillo has the response from jail officials.
King County says it believes the number of affected officers is far lower than reported. In a statement, the county says all officers in question are authorized to work in the U.S., have passed criminal background checks, and are in good standing with the county. Officials admit they may have misapplied a state law that limits who can serve as corrections officers and say they're taking steps to correct the oversights. The State Criminal Justice Training Commission also confirms it expelled 4 recruits who did not meet eligibility requirements. Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Are you ready for some hockey?
And the Kraken are off and running.
The Kraken are back on the ice tonight. Sound from the last preseason, courtesy of the team's website. They open their 5th season against the Anaheim Ducks at Climate Pledge Arena. Puck drops at 7 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, the Mariners play Game 5 of the American League Divisional Series against the Detroit Tigers. It will be at home, and it's a win-or-stay-home game. First pitch at 5:08 p.m. You can hear the whole thing on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are going to have a high of 61 degrees today, and we're very close to that at 57 degrees. Clouds build overnight with chances for rain tomorrow, Friday, and a high of 59 degrees. Again, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of stuff to cover. Quick thing to clear up. Apparently, we've been getting a lot of text messages that people say there is a Seattle monopoly. But, Spike, you actually want to correct the text messengers who are incorrectly texting us.
Well,
Please go ahead.
Only the one guy said do some research, because that seems personal. You know what I'm saying to you? We love text input. We do. Sometimes
we do plenty of research, buddy.
Sometimes I get stuff wrong. Hey, what am I, less than human?
You didn't get that one wrong, though.
No, I did not, because while there is a Seattleopoly game, I give you that, there is. There's an Orcasopoly made specifically for Orcas Island.
Yeah.
These are not Hasbro Monopoly games.
These are not official Monopoly games.
Right, which is what Bellevue is getting, which is what numerous cities, Tucson, Tempe, Flagstaff, you know, the Boulder, Colorado. A lot of cities have official Monopoly games. Seattle may likely get one. But this is a game Hasbro authorizes. This secondary company, I think it's called
Top Trumps.
Late for the Sky is one of the is the company that makes these customized local games.
Gotcha.
For Seattleopoly.
Oh, the localized games.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, then I guess, should we just say that the texters are half right, just to make them feel good? You guys are half right.
Sure.
You're half right.
Yeah.
So we understand why you would think that.
Hey, we appreciate you back.
And we appreciate the text messages.
Always.
And if you guys want to get in on these, 888-973-5476, you are more than welcome to correct us where we are wrong.
Love having you along for the ride.
Or just pat us on the back.
Yeah, we get a lot right.
We like those a lot more than corrections.
Yep.
All right, couple things to get to real fast. The biggest national story is obviously news that a peace deal has been reached between Hamas and Israel. That's being ironed out right now. There's discussions about releasing the hostages, of which there are still 20 on the Israeli side. 20 Israeli hostages.
Believed to be alive, and the remains of
28
several
others.
Yeah,
still being held by Hamas. And so we'll get into all that in just a minute. But what was interesting is how this all unfolded yesterday at the White House, because we have a local connection to that moment in history, which is really bizarre, actually, and kind of crazy when you think about it. Brandy Cruz, who is a big local name here in independent journalism, got her start right here on KIRO Radio. And she was a fantastic reporter for KIRO. I think Ursula found her. Do you know Brandy's history at KIRO?
I don't.
Okay.
Poor orphan child?
No, it's not a poor orphan child.
A different story. I'm sorry.
But she was a very, very hard-nosed, ready to go, smart as a whip, young college graduate reporter who won a competition that Ursula Reutin was judging years and years and years ago.
You're kidding me.
Yes, a college reporting competition. If I have this correct, I might have some of the details off. But basically, Ursula, who was news director at the time, I believe, hires her to come in. She ends up just being a star and doing great stuff. She started doing stuff when I was producing for the Dory show back in the day, and she became a real fixture on the show. And they would, we'd find stories, and she'd go out and report on them, and she would have great stuff, and we'd be happy to, excited to feature it on the show.
Watched her grow up right before our eyes.
We did watch her grow up, which is really fun. So she's still a friend and
a lovely person.
She's a lovely person.
When we lost Dory,
she filled in here.
Brandy gave us a few weeks of her very busy life. And I got to spend time on a daily basis with her. Yeah. And I hadn't had that privilege prior.
She's great.
Lovely individual.
Super great. Yep. So she was invited as part of this independent journalism roundtable, even though I guess it wasn't a roundtable. It was technically like an oval. Or no, it was a rectangle table.
They build these squares.
These square.
Yeah, they build these squares. So and that's kind of cool.
Square table.
Yeah.
It was very cool. So I saw pictures. I didn't know she was going to do this, but I see pictures yesterday morning on X. She's posting all these pictures on social media. There's our very own Brandy Cruz at the White House. And when your friend gets to go to the White House, it's kind of a cool thing. And you're just like, that's amazing that this person's at the White House. I'm like, I texted her yesterday. I'm like, I just saw you at the White House. That's crazy. And and then while she's there, so she was there speaking on behalf of this crackdown on Antifa.
Yeah.
In different states, which is a big part of the Portland protests, the Seattle protests, Colorado, all these different things are tied in with this focus on Antifa. And so Brandy was there informing the White House. And
with regard to the Seattle.
With regard to the Seattle end of it.
Okay,
there was people also there from Portland. There was people also there from the East Coast.
Yeah, a lot of young conservative voices given the president.
Really independent journalists.
Yeah.
They were not like mainstream media folks.
Okay.
And so she's there, and she had a moment that ended up going viral. And in typical Brandy fashion, she takes the moment to also, I don't know how you do this, honestly. She's just sitting there. Not only is she sitting in front of the Attorney General, she's sitting in front of the Director of the FBI, she's sitting in front of Trump, in the backdrop of the White House, in front of all the national press reporters at these tables, and she tells a story about having TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. And it ended up being one of those stories that everybody latched onto because it was such a moment that was created. And I'm going to play a little bit of that for you. But how does this tie into the Israel and Hamas peace talks? We'll get into that in just a second. But here was Brandy yesterday at the White House. She's speaking to the president here.
The single most powerful thing you've done to deal with this scourge has been acknowledging that Antifa is a real thing. I genuinely believe there would be people at these tables who would be dead today and would have been killed in Portland had you not called them a terror organization and said we're going to bring the full weight of the federal government to bear.
A bunch of other local folks were there too. John Cho was there as well. He does a bunch of stuff here locally as well.
I talked to Katie Daviscourt in Portland the other day. She'd been assaulted all summer. And she said the same thing, that it seems quick to violence as soon as you made that designation. So they're thinking in their heads, they're worried. There's been 24 or so arrested in Portland. They don't want to go to federal prison. There's this video of them, one of them who was in the face of an ICE agent, and then he's in custody shaking. Once you take the mask off, they're nothing. And I was told by probably a dozen people not to tell you this. I'm gonna tell it to you anyway, because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years. This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful. I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my Trump derangement syndrome. Yes.
I don't know if it didn't really come through in the audio there, but Trump's looking at her as she's talking, and she goes, I think I even got a little bit more attractive. And he goes, very attractive. Like, he's just like in typical Trump fashion.
So Trump, yeah.
Very attractive.
Lips.
Very attractive. Very nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was a really cool moment. And then as they're having this meeting, though, Secretary of State Mark Rubio comes in and passes a note to President Trump
I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly, so I will take a couple of more questions.
So he had to cut the event short because this historic thing was happening, and then he put out on his Truth Social, and then it was announced to everybody. He says, I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of a peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon. There's hostages, there's detainees on the Israeli side. They think they have, how many people were locked up for, they had life sentences in Israel, like a couple hundred maybe.
I'm not sure.
Do you remember the number?
No, I don't. I know there's a ratio of so many per hostage and hostage remains that are returned. We'll get so many, because there literally are hundreds.
And then on the Hamas side, I think, from October 7th, so for 2 years, I think there was like 1,200 and change people, I think 1,219 people who were killed in the attack. Then they took, was it 200 something hostages? I think 251, 252 hostages.
That sounds right. Don't quote me, but that sounds about right.
And many of them have been released, but they still had 48 as of today. And 20 of them they believe are still alive. 28 are deceased, and so they don't know when they're going to get those bodies back. That will take extra time, but they believe that the other 20 will be released on Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, so I thought I heard that remains and surviving will be by Monday, Tuesday. We'll see it. We'll see.
It could be the case. I heard that it's the transfer of the bodies might be something that happens a little slower, but Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, he made a really interesting statement when you're thinking about the people who are being released after 2 years. Imagine that, being a hostage for 2 years. He had this to say about it, and it hits home for anybody.
Actions you have taken unrelated to this and because of who you are and what you've done and how you're viewed. And this weekend, because of that, at some point very soon, we are going to see 20 living human beings emerge from the darkness into the light for the first time in 2 years. And that is because not only were you used the credibility and the power and the prestige of this office and the relationships you created, and you committed yourself to making it happen. And I think it will go down as a historic moment in the history of our country, and something our country should be very proud of, that we have a president that's committed to not just peace, but to the human aspect of reuniting these families.
And this is really wild. I was watching all the news coverage of this, and what a moment this is if it does come to pass. Obviously, it's on the 1 yard line, and hopefully both sides have agreed to it. They're now waiting to sign things. If they're able to pass this, I was watching two videos. I was watching celebration in Israel, people dancing in the streets, and I was watching celebration in Gaza, people celebrating and dancing in the streets. Say what you will about the governments who are involved, but the people caught in between.
Boy, ain't that the truth?
To think about them finally being able to say, hey, you know what? We don't have to worry about this fight for the first time in how many years? How many generations have they been fighting?
Yeah, I've seen generations, literally.
Generations.
And I've seen decades-long different timelines of attempts at achieving this.
Yeah. Oh, so, every administration has attempted this, or at least tried to.
I've got my problems with this administration, but I am rooting wholeheartedly.
Oh, 100%.
That this comes to fruition, and
this was
a lasting peace can happen.
David Ignatius, foreign affairs consultant for Washington Post, he was on Morning Joe and just talked about what a big deal this is.
The deal that President Trump is announcing played a key part in negotiating, is a significant change. This war was blocked for 2 years. President Biden, who preceded him, was unable to find a way to stop it. President Trump found that way by being tough on both sides. And he'll take a victory lap for sure over the next few days, but it's deserved. There's no way that I can see that this would have been done without Trump's pressure in the final hours.
ABC was reporting on it from Tel Aviv.
Make no mistake, it looks like President Trump has actually pulled off something here that many presidents before him have failed to do.
Here's an interesting question, too. John Fetterman, Senator John Fetterman, Pennsylvania, he was very quick to congratulate Trump. He's been pretty rock solid on this issue the entire time. Mm-hmm. He says, I congratulate President Trump on his historic peace plan that releases all the hostages now, enduring peace in the region is possible. And he was asked, does this qualify President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize? And this is what Fetterman had to say.
Do you think the president deserves a Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, I mean, if this sticks, I think the whole point of having a Nobel Peace Prize is for ending wars and promoting peace.
Do you think that that's? I mean, I can't imagine how somebody else could be more qualified, given if this thing is successful.
Well, not by tomorrow.
Yeah. Is tomorrow when they decide?
Well, they roll out the different prizes for medicine, for couple local winners.
Yeah, for
physiology, psychology. Yeah. I'm not a math guy. I'm not a science guy. I like peace.
What?
Yeah, I'm big on peace.
You're not a science guy?
Yeah. So if this, like as Fetterman said, if this bears out and there's a just and lasting peace in this region, then hell yeah, I'll go there and hang it around his neck myself.
There you go.
I'd love to. Be an honor. I've never been to the White House.
That'd be fun. I don't know. I don't know if you're first in line for handing that thing out. But
I'm just throwing my hat in the ring.
The symbolism there,
Put my name
I
out
think
there.
would be nice,
right? Because I've got some TDS. I got some bad TDS.
Do you? But you know what? These are the kind of moments where you can maybe reevaluate that, and it can soften a little bit.
There's a bigger thing out there than my feelings toward this administration or my president.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And peace is way at the top of the list.
You can follow Brandy's lead, and
I don't know if I'm going down there. I'm not going that far.
According to Brandy,
I don't feel attractive.
It'll even make you more attractive.
Yeah, that's next time I see her, I'm gonna have a little talk. But that's.
You don't think that that's the case?
No, I think she's very I think it's married life that makes her more attractive.
Oh, you think so?
I really do.
Well,
I've met her husband. He's a wonderful guy.
Her husband's really super nice.
Married
guy.
life agrees with Randy Cruz. Absolutely.
Married life, statistically, it agrees with everybody. You live longer when you're married. You're happier when you're married. You have more money when you're married.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
Yep.
Well, I hope he gets it. If this is successful, I think it would be well deserved. Quick side note that's kind of fun. Do you know the history of the Nobel Prize? Alfred Nobel. Do you know anything about this?
Not really.
I didn't know about it either. I've just known it's been a thing for a long time. I assumed this guy was obsessed with peace.
Okay.
So I was reading this book last year called The Mysterious Case of Rudolf Diesel. And Diesel is famous for, two guesses, you only need one. What did he invent?
Diesel fuel?
The diesel engine.
Oh, the diesel engine. Okay.
Also diesel fuel.
Okay,
but
there you go.
He invented the diesel engine.
Not the watch?
Not the watch.
Okay.
They copied him. Just kidding. But he was an inventor in the late 1800s. And it's a great book, by the way. You should read it. And he went missing in really mysterious circumstances. It's actually like it's a nonfiction story about what happened to his life. It's fascinating.
Okay.
And complete from nothing, and he invents this amazing thing that changes the world. The diesel engine changes the world completely, almost overnight. And then he disappears in a really strange way. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but you got to read the book.
Cool.
But one of the footnotes in the book was detailing some of his contemporaries, and there's all these amazing guys at the end of the 19th century,
1890s, yes.
1890s.
Yeah.
He is surrounded by all these amazing people. One of them, Alfred Nobel, and Alfred Nobel is famous for he made his fortune because he created dynamite. Did you know that?
What?
Yes, Alfred Nobel created dynamite among other things.
I thought that was Tony Glycerin.
That was not wrong. No.
Okay.
So he created dynamite.
Nitro.
And
Nobel created dynamite?
Nobel created dynamite.
Then decided not to use it.
No.
The key.
No.
Okay.
He made a fortune because it was used in war.
Wow.
And it was used to kill so many people. And so I think it was in 1890, I don't know, it was 94, 95. He established Nobel Peace Prize in 95, so it was prior to that. So in the early 1890s, a French newspaper incorrectly reported his death. He had a couple of brothers who he was in business with as well. Incorrectly reported his death as being one of his brothers' death as being his death.
Okay.
And they referred to him as, in this newspaper clipping, as the Merchant of Death. And he read that, and he had a come to Jesus moment, and he went, "Whoa, I don't want to be remembered as the Merchant of Death."
Who would? Right.
And so he said, "I need to do something to burnish my legacy and to make people think that I was actually not a guy who's known for many, many deaths as it relates to dynamite and the other ballistics that he created." Yes. So he's super rich, and so he's friends with like a peace activist at the time.
Okay.
With her, he established a Nobel Peace Prize to be awarded every year to people who advance peace between nations, the cause of peace, things that create peace.
Plus, he signed that deal with Acme that he would only sell dynamite to
and he would
coyotes.
only sell it against coyotes.
It was non-lethal.
He hated coyotes.
Right?
Yeah. But isn't that crazy?
I had never heard that.
So the guy who created dynamite
and credit to the writer who labeled him the merchant of death.
Yeah, by accident.
That's who woke him up.
That's who woke him up, and then he's like, "Hey, the Peace Prize." Now, did he get rid of all that money? No. Did he donate to charity? No. But he did establish the Peace Prize, and now it might go to Trump. And this is kind of an interesting piece of history.
I pray that it works out.
And that was in a footnote.
That's crazy.
Very good book, Mysterious Case of Rudolph Diesel, and God bless the Middle East. Honestly, that would be amazing if this thing ends up going through.
Here.
What a time that would be. That would be great. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Washington has laws about selling a haunted home. I did not know this, but we'll tell you about it next.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants, "Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You could do that now.
No, I'm not there yet. I'm getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, "Ah," in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Fred Meyer, QFC, or Amazon Fresh. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit IRGPT.com, IRGPT.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877, or visit us online at getroofsmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or getroofsmart.com.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. President Trump now says he plans to fly to the Middle East this weekend ahead of the expected release of Israeli hostages in Gaza.
It's been really something incredible that nobody thought it was possible to get it done.
The president says he plans to attend an official peace deal signing to end the 2-year war. CBS's Christopher Cruz reports both Palestinians and Israelis are celebrating.
In central Tel Aviv, a bottle of champagne was popped open and cheers rang out as word spread that the Israeli hostages would be released on Monday or Tuesday. The deputy director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, Edward Ahmed Mitchell, says the agreement gives him hope for the Palestinian people, but he'll be watching Israel's actions closely.
We have to make sure that this agreement is implemented fully and fairly and justly.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
U.S. military personnel are set to miss their first paychecks next Wednesday if the government shutdown continues. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi has more on that.
Washington Democratic Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland represents the state's 10th district, which includes Joint Base Lewis McChord. She is among lawmakers from both parties who support a standalone bill to pay the military despite the shutdown.
We know how important it is for our military families because, as you know, a lot of them struggle with food insecurity. The cost of living is high in Washington state, and they often get sticker shock.
President Trump appears to support the bill, too. But House Speaker Mike Johnson has indicated he's not willing to call lawmakers back into session just to vote on it. He says the Senate needs to get the government open. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
And now to the closing bell reports. A rocket company in Kent just got a major boost. Stoke Space announced a $510 million funding round yesterday with nearly $1 billion raised to date. Stoke is building a reusable rocket. The company says it'll make reaching orbits 20 times cheaper. Well, stocks got cheaper today. The Dow lost 243 points. The NASDAQ and S&P both lost 19. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 1:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Right on, Aaron. Kia of Everett has our update. Linwood to Seattle is down to a 25-minute commute. We cleared that crash in the U District, and you're left with a backup from Northgate into downtown. North 5, you're going to slow approaching the West Seattle Bridge up to I-90. Southbound 405 getting pretty heavy now as you head through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton's pushing 25 minutes. I'm starting to see volumes pick up. Through Pacific on northbound 167, about a 2-mile thick backup now where we have lane reductions. In Puyallup, we've got a new fender bender. It's westbound 512 just past Pioneer Way, and you're backed up bumper to bumper onto the Valley Freeway. Everywhere else, we're doing good. During the month of October, for every new Kia we sell, Kia of Everett will donate to local breast cancer research and support programs. Kia of Everett, simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Will stay mostly cloudy today and mainly dry. Just a couple of light showers sprinkled in there, here and there. Right now, 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, Spike, I got a question for you.
Sure.
I saw this story earlier. I had no idea this was even a thing. I'm happy to find out that people have to disclose this information. I'm not happy because in Washington State, no protections against it. When you bought your house, how many years have you been in your house?
We've been in our home now. I did some math the other day. We've been in our home for almost 20 years now.
Oh, fantastic.
Almost 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got some good equity in that house.
Yeah, we're doing great.
You
Thank
also
knock wood.
might have a ghost.
I think, it's so funny you mentioned that because I think we do. I honestly.
Are you serious?
We can talk about that another time because I want to hear about.
What do you think we're talking about right now? Haunted homes.
I honestly believe we have. I know that the previous owner of our home, the first family that lived in our home, that raised their family in our home, I know that the mom passed away in the house. I know that for a fact. I still am close. I'm close to the people we bought the house from. I just saw them a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Did other people see them?
No, yes. I'm talking about the kids.
I'm kidding.
I'm talking about the kids.
Yeah.
And when it was time for the father of the family, the patriarch, to move in with the kids up in Snohomish,
sure,
and they put the house on the market, we bought the home. And there are
Did
times.
they disclose to you? Did they disclose to you that? Did they think that there was a spirit in the house?
No, that did not come up.
Okay,
did not come up.
Well, they don't have to. Washington state law does not. Force them to.
Well, how do you prove something like that?
Well, there are states where if you think that your house, like in New Jersey, and I want to hear your ghost story in just a second.
Sure.
In New Jersey, when somebody sells a home, they must answer honestly if they believe that there have been ghost sightings in the house. They have to tell. Now, how can you disclose something that you can't prove?
Right. That's
a tricky gray area.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are probably going to be honest about that. If you think, you know what, maybe it was just a shadow or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But they do have laws on the books about other things. Like in Washington State, you have to disclose if you think that your house has been used, or if you know your house has been used as a illegal drug manufacturing site.
Well, sure.
Which is good.
Yeah,
you want that.
There are health concerns regarding that. Yeah.
You don't have to tell people if your house has been the site of a death in Washington State. You do not have to tell people if your house has had a suicide in it. These are not things you have to disclose. When I was looking for a house, we've been in our house now 5.5 years. When we bought our house, I was, and we looked at a whole range. That was our first house we ever bought. We looked at a lot of different homes. Some of them were dogs.
Oh, yeah.
The kind of house where you walk into and you're like,
nope.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you walk in, you bet 2 minutes of the
instantly.
Walk through. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like an old Looney Tunes cartoon or something where you're just like, okay, there's scary stuff in the corner. It's like a Bugs Bunny scary ghost thing, and you're just like, I'm out. I'm done.
Okay.
But I assumed that those things had to be disclosed, so I always comforted myself when in the paperwork they didn't say that somebody had died there. But that's not the case. In Washington, you don't have to disclose if somebody died there. I do believe there is a rule about somebody being murdered there.
I think if a violent crime was committed there,
yeah,
okay.
That's a different thing. But if somebody kills themselves or if somebody just dies.
Yeah.
So tell me more about why you think your house is haunted.
There are little things that happen around the house. There's, you've walked into the room sometime and it's just colder than the rest of the house. I've felt that on numerous occasions. And trust me, we've got good insulation, new windows, the whole nine. It's not a draft. Sure. We keep a pretty buttoned-up house because my wife hates noises from the outside world. We live on the end of a cul-de-sac street.
People like it quiet. I get it.
Yeah. But mostly it's when missing things, when things turn up missing, and then they just turn up in a place you've looked a half a dozen times. I literally have emptied out a cabinet looking for a particular spice and then put everything back in and walked away and came back 20 minutes later, and that spice is just sitting by itself on the counter.
Really?
The only thing I swear to you.
Like
on
a saffron or something?
Something. I forget what it was.
A spice of some kind.
Some kind, but it was
cinnamon.
The only thing sitting on the counter. The only thing. And I'm like, thank you. I throw a little grace. Thank you.
Oh, so you feel like you're living in peace with this?
This is a person who raised their family in this home and died of natural causes in the room I sleep in every night of my life.
Do you think that this obviously doesn't mean you any harm?
No. It's not. We don't have dripping walls or none of that crud.
Is it do you like the feeling of the spirit there? Do you feel like it's a nice thing?
Yeah, I think there's a mom looking out for my family.
That's
absolutely.
Nice. Now, why wouldn't she go with her family though?
That's where her life ended.
So she just
says,
this is where comfortable here. I like here. My routine is here.
I love these kind of people.
I love the wallpaper.
I did this myself. I planted that tree. the whole nine.
But she raised those kids.
Right, that's what they said. Look,
you ever tell her, like, go spend time with the kids?
Why
like,
would that?
Quit messing with my pepper.
Somebody, a medium told my wife that person, she has no connection to the new place. This is where she raised her family.
Well, the connection.
This is where all the memories are.
Okay.
Because, the little kids that she remembers and loves, and they were never at that new place. The memories that she has with her husband.
But the kids are at the new place.
Yeah, kids are there, yeah. Some of them.
If I was a ghost haunting
Plus,
my
I got every cable pack.
family.
I got every channel.
That's
what
true.
more could a ghost want?
Wouldn't you want to be around your family, though? Not intrusive. You don't want to hover. You know what I mean? I'd want to check in on them.
I do.
I don't know if I'd want to stick around with the new family I have no connection to. Believe me, I know you're fun. You told me about your Halloween parties. It sounds like a riot.
You have a ball.
I think you have a good time.
But that was at my Queen Anne house, which I also think was haunted, but that's okay.
You've had multiple haunted houses?
The first house Melissa and I ever owned was on Lower Queen Anne.
What made you think that one was haunted?
We had.
I kept losing my spice.
No. That was this house.
Is it possible you're just misplacing your pepper?
It might be. No, I would often have doors. I would close doors and they'd be open again. Close doors, they'd be open again. And that in the Queen Anne house closed. I honestly checking locks. I'm doing all. I don't talk about internal doors. Doors.
Did that one feel a little bit more nefarious?
There were two. We were told. I'm sorry to take over this bit.
No, it's great.
We were told there were two spirits that passed in that house. An elderly person that died of natural causes, and someone who lost their life through an accident.
Okay.
There was we were told there was a party in the 1920s in that home on
the
Lower Queen Anne.
1920s.
Yeah, house was over 100 years old when we bought it.
Yeah.
In the early 90s, house was already 100 years old. There was a party in that house, and someone dressed in a flapper type attire fell and hit their head against what is the fireplace in that home.
Oh.
And died from the injuries. That's what we were told by this man. Who knows?
And you felt like these two spirits were.
We had a very benevolent spirit in that house. We also had a little bit of a mischievous kind of troublemaking kind of spirit.
Did you do anything to get rid of it?
No.
Just kind of like
we leaned into it. We had 200 people at a Halloween party. We loved that kind of crap.
Have you ever seen? I know you have. I'm going to ask Laura this. Laura, have you seen Signs? Have you seen the movie Signs?
No.
Not Signs. I'm sorry. Sixth Sense.
Oh, Sixth Sense.
You know what's really funny about the Sixth Sense? I've watched half of it.
Nothing.
I never finished it. I don't know the twist.
You've never seen the ending of the Sixth Sense?
Never seen the ending.
Was it too scary for you?
No, I was at a friend's house and I had to leave in high school. I can't remember why. Maybe soccer game the next morning or something.
So you don't know how it ends?
I don't know how it ends.
No, I've met people who haven't seen the Sixth Sense.
You should see the ending of that movie.
I've met people who have.
This is a good one.
I've met people who haven't seen it. I've never met anyone who's watched half of it.
Do you remember the first half of the movie?
Yeah, little boy.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think happens at the end of that movie? You saw the first half of Signs. It's with Bruce Willis and a little boy.
Yeah.
What do you think happens at the end of that?
You're asking me to go back to high school.
Actually, wait. I want you to wait. And when we come back, I want you to tell me what you think happens.
Finish the screenplay.
Finish it quickly. I'll watch
finish the screenplay. Yeah.
No, don't finish it. I just want her to guess what happens at the end of Signs.
I want you to write the ending of Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Signs is also great.
Signs is great.
And I want to talk to you a little bit more about your haunted home.
Sure, you bet.
I'm more interested in what Laura thinks happens at the end of Signs.
I'm dying. This is great.
I'm dying.
No pun intended.
All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. Be right back.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
As things escalate in Portland,
it looks like a war zone.
Seattle's Morning News speaks with Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
We've been preparing for this sort of thing from the beginning.
Live in studio.
How does your office game plan if the president were to say today, Seattle, you're next? It's not lawful to do it in the way that the presidents do it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
See the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone. where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brad's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where batteries are as low as $89.99. Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Brad is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living, and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, and your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
If you use the SR 167 Express toll lanes after October 20th without a Good2Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good2Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at Good2Go167.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at K2VisionRLE.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore, and every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Amazon, or at newnordicusa.com.
We are Harnish Auto Family, and this month we've partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest. For every test drive you take, we'll make a donation on your behalf. Come on over this month and stand with us in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, welcome back to the show. Before the break, this was kind of a little bit of a tangent we went on, but that's all right. It's our show. We can do what we want. We were talking about Washington State has rules for whether or not you have to disclose if your house is haunted. In Washington State, you don't have to. There are states where you do have to disclose if you think that there's a spirit in your house, but Washington State's not one of them. You also don't have to disclose if somebody's committed suicide or if somebody died there. Basically, it's just if somebody did drugs in the house, if there was a violent crime in the house. But beyond that, it's all structural things. Like if you have a leaky roof, you got to disclose it. But not a ghost.
Inspectors do a great job.
Yeah.
They can't see everything.
They can't see everything.
Right.
Or ghosts. So, Laura, before the break, we were talking, because I had famous ghost movies. We were talking about The Sixth Sense. And Laura really just gave Spike and I a lot of joy. We always ask her, like, as a joke, have you seen it? Because she's seen almost nothing that we have seen, because we watch old things and she's young. And so, but she has seen the first half of Sixth Sense. And Sixth Sense is a movie with a rather famous second half. And so I thought it'd be fun.
So I've heard.
Or so you've heard.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea about where it was going? Like, it's spoiler alert, the movie came out in 1999, so it's been a while if somebody
I've had
hasn't
some time
seen it.
to watch it, and I haven't.
And you haven't?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the first
maybe
half?
This will be my year. Yeah, I liked the first half. I found it very spooky.
It's very spooky.
Nerve-wracking.
Yes?
Yes.
What's the last thing you remember in the story, so I know where you left?
Again, guys, high school. I mean, which was only like
what do you
months ago.
What do you remember?
So Bruce Willis is he's counseling the child,
He's
right?
a
Because
therapist,
the
right?
child is having some issues. The
Yeah.
child is seeing things. In fact, I have a little clip from it here, and then we can have Laura.
And the child grew up to be a famous child actor, right?
Yeah, it's Haley Joel Osment.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was famous as a child. Now he's famous because he's
It's ironic because his face never grew up. Did you notice that?
It did get wider.
He's got an adult body with a child face, and I don't get.
I don't think it's a child face.
It's his same little face.
It's like a heavy
it's
man's
a size
face
6 face on
with
a size
giant
10
beard.
head.
Yeah, it's a big
with
face.
a size 6 face on a size 10 head.
He seems like an interesting fella. But here's a little bit of that movie.
I want to tell you my secret now. I see dead people.
In your dreams? While you're awake? Dead people like in graves and coffins?
Walking around like regular people. They don't see each other. They only see what they want to see. They don't know they're dead.
Oh my God, that movie's awesome.
How often do you see them?
All the time. They're everywhere.
Oh my God!
Right?
I want to go watch that movie again.
So that's not the twist?
That's not the twist.
That's not the twist.
Do you want to know the twist, or
No,
should you just?
I
Okay.
don't.
No,
okay.
don't. No.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah, don't ruin it for
Can
me.
you do me a favor? We ask you a lot on the show to go and watch
to go
a
watch
movie.
movies, and I never do it.
This weekend, can you watch Sixth Sense, and can we talk about it next week?
Okay. I will take on this assignment.
Listening to that clip, that was a genius movie. And it thrust M. Night Shyamalan into like overnight stardom. He was then like the writer-director that you wanted to have. And can I tell you guys something really amazing about M. Night Shyamalan?
Sure.
Okay, this is just one of those things that sometimes happens in the crazy world of Hollywood. So that movie came out in 1999. And that was his first big breakout, like massive success, and changed his career overnight. He then was able to go off and make Signs. He made The Village. He made The Happening, which I didn't really like, but he's made all these movies in the wake of that movie. And that was a genius movie. So in 1999, he had 3 movies in the theaters that year.
Really? Wow.
That was the one that was like his big hit.
That broke wide open.
As a director and writer, and he had that in his back pocket. But he was also, before that movie came out, because to make a movie takes forever. It takes years to make a movie. Like by the time you finish writing a movie, if somebody happens to buy it, which is like it's such a tiny, small percentage of a chance, once they buy it, then you have like at least 2 or 3 years before you're going to see that movie produced, if you're lucky. So he had a couple other movies in the pipeline, and they all just happened to come out around the same time. So the other movie that he had in the theaters that he was credited with writing, not directing, was Stuart Little. Do you remember that child's movie? The Mouse movie. Yeah.
That's M. Night Shyamalan.
That's M. Night Shyamalan. He also...
Was the mouse dead?
The mouse was not dead.
Okay.
And the mouse didn't see dead people. But the other movie that he was credited with, that he did a ghostwrite for, like a lot of times they'll bring in a writer if there's problems on a script, and they'll fix a script that needs fixing. Another famous movie that came out in 1999, She's All That. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, I've seen that.
She's All That.
What remind me?
It's like a dopey.
She takes her glasses off, and then all of a sudden she's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel Lee
Freddie
Cook,
Prinze Jr.
Right, or something, right?
Yeah.
Rachel Lee
Yes.
Cook.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, wow, that's M. Night Shyamalan.
Think of the talent of this guy.
I see cute people. They don't know they're cute.
Isn't that amazing?
That's bizarre.
Bizarre.
That
Truly
is
bizarre.
That is weird. You got to watch the end of this movie.
Yeah,
Laura.
you got to check it out.
It's been a while since I saw the first half.
Start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning.
It's been 26 years. I can still remember it like it was yesterday. All right. Laura's going to watch that movie.
Thank you for not spoiling it, by the way.
I don't want to spoil it. This is amazing.
By the way, I know we're out of time. My wife, we're 5 minutes into the movie. She told me the ending. 5 minutes in. I'm like, you got to be kidding. Because I saw it without her.
No, don't give it
I'm
away.
like, I won't.
Don't give
I'm
away
like,
anything.
you won't believe this. 5
Laura,
minutes in,
go
she's
see
like,
it.
oh, boom.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got a lot more. Stick around.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 45, Kenny Easley. As pure an athlete as has ever played, saw him the very first day at training camp after his first-round draft choice. All of us veterans looked at each other and said, we've got something here, and we sure did.
The Seahawks are in Jacksonville, facing the up-and-coming Jaguars on Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7.
Right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Breaking news at this hour. A grand jury has indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James. This marks the second federal prosecution of one of President Trump's foes. It comes 2 weeks after a grand jury, also in Virginia, voted to indict former FBI Director James Comey. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
As you can imagine, the president is going to be thrilled to hear this because he has been pushing his Department of Justice to do exactly what they have done today.
There is a lot riding on the deal to win the war in Gaza, especially for the families of hostages, as Haley Ott reports from Hostage Square in Tel Aviv.
For pretty much the last 2 years, the families of the hostages and many Israelis have been turning out on the street, protesting, demanding that their government agree to some sort of deal to bring all the hostages home and to end the war in Gaza. And now it seems like that could be happening.
But it's a day of complicated emotions, according to Rachel Goldberg, whose son was shot dead by his Palestinian captors.
For some of the families, the deal will happen, and this will be the best day of the rest of their lives. And for the majority of the families, for 28 of the families, this is an extremely profoundly sad day.
And Robert Berger reports after the hostages are released, there are still some complicated aspects of the deal to work out.
Who's going to take control of Gaza? Who's going to control security? Who's going to rule Gaza? How is Hamas going to be disarmed?
With the government shutdown continuing, a lot of federal workers are keeping an eye on their dwindling savings. Jared Hill reports.
Food banks across the country are stocking up, bracing for higher demand, with hundreds of thousands of federal workers and contractors going without pay.
Anytime someone suddenly doesn't receive a paycheck that they're expecting for their house and their livelihood, it can really cause a lot of stress.
Sick outs by air traffic controllers are still causing delays at some airports. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has the latest.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says air traffic controllers found to be abusing the FAA's sick time rules could ultimately get fired. We are seeing another day of spotty staffing issues at facilities across the country. So far, delays and cancellations have remained relatively low, but those air traffic control sick calls are up.
A federal judge has ordered a man charged in California's deadly Palisades fire to remain jailed amid concerns about his mental health. A prosecutor said Jonathan Rinderknecht had traits of an arsonist, and his family worried about his declining mental state. On Wall Street today, stocks finished lower. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Coming up, no police officers returning to Garfield High School. That's after we go to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron. Harnish Auto Family's got the update, and we've got a big issue up in Everett, North 5, just past the Boeing Freeway. It's a collision in your right lane. It had 3 lanes blocked there for a little bit, and that's why you're backed up bumper to 112th in South Everett. Now, this has created a southbound looky-loo backup starting way back at 41st. Everett to Seattle is up to 45 minutes. Seattle to Everett also 45 minutes. By the way, this Northbound back up through Everett has eastbound traffic on the Boeing Freeway, jam-packed to the Boeing plant. Heading into Seattle, South 5, we've improved from our last report. Now it's crowded from the U District instead of Northgate. In the downtown, Linwood to Seattle's at 20 minutes. Southbound 405 still heavy through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton's at 20 minutes. And in Puyallup, we're still dealing with a crash. Westbound 512 just past Pioneer Way is blocking your left lane, and you're backed up bumper to bumper onto southbound 167 and well into Sumner. We are Harness Auto Family, and this month we've partnered with Mobile Mammo Northwest, where every test drive you take will make a donation on your behalf. Harness Auto Family, people matter. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Police officers will not be posted back at Garfield High School in Seattle.
This motion has failed with a vote of 2 yeses and 5 noes.
That was the vote yesterday. The school board proposed a school engagement officer after a student was shot to death in Garfield High's parking lot last year. The officer would have focused on crime prevention and building relationships, the school said. A 29-year-old Auburn man accused of breaking into the state capitol building is due back in court tomorrow after he was formally charged. Prosecutors say troopers found Gunnar Schubert Sunday night climbing out of a window after doing significant damage inside. Troopers say the incident was not politically motivated. They say it may be linked to mental health issues. Auburn's mayor frustrated after learning through the media that the Spokane South Hill rapist is moving to her city. Nancy Backus tells KIRO 7 TV her community was blindsided.
That is not the way a local jurisdiction should find out that a level 3 sex offender has been released into their community.
Kevin Coe, linked to over 40 assaults, is 78 now. He is in poor health. The state says he is unlikely to reoffend. The Kitsap County Sheriff's Office says it found the car involved in a fatal hit and run left one person dead. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reports that driver is still on the run.
The sheriff says that the car hit the victim on Tuesday between 1:30 and 2:09 p.m. at Rhododendron Drive Northwest, just south of Pioneer Hill Road Northwest in Paulsbo. This morning, the sheriff reported finding the suspect's vehicle. If you have info or video of the car during the time of the incident, they want you to call 911.
A 10-mile stretch of I-5 in Pierce County is the most dangerous stretch of highway in our states. This is according to data compiled by Seattle Injury Law. The freeway between South 38th Street and State Route 18 saw 22 fatal crashes between 2019 and 2023. WSP Trooper Cameron Watts.
We're going to be putting on patrols and extra emphasis in the area and just having more of a focus on this stretch of highway.
Good news, he says fatalities were down last year. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing. At exteriors, we are mostly dry today. Just a couple of light showers are still possible this afternoon. Highs in the low to mid 60s and mostly cloudy. Right now, 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 fast hours down. We have 1 hour left, Spike, if you can believe it. A lot of stuff to get to. Very excited. Jason Rantz from the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 AM joins us now. Jason, welcome to the show.
Hey there.
Jason, you have 2 stories that people should check out. They're on seattlered.com. Both of them very surprising, very interesting stories. The first one, though, let's start with the King County Jail story. This one has gotten a lot of attention, and I know I was kind of taken aback when reading it that this could even happen. Spike, I think you had a similar reaction.
Turn the microphone on. I kind of think, well, huh?
Yeah,
how does this happen? A lot of questions.
Tell us what's happening at King County and why they're having to release some of their guards.
Yeah, so turn your mic on first. I highly recommend it. By the way.
Well, I'm a professional. I know how to turn on my microphone.
I appreciate the shaming.
So King County Jail apparently hired as corrections officers folks who are not legally allowed to be corrections officers. These are...
They don't meet the height requirement? What's the deal?
Well, they don't meet
bench press 280,
eligibility for citizenship requirement in some cases. They're going through now, and basically we exclusively reported yesterday a complaint had been filed with the state alleging some 130 hires at the King County Jail were illegally hired, that they did not have work visa requirements met, or they otherwise would not be eligible under Washington state law for this particular kind of position, like corrections officers.
Right.
You can be a DACA recipient or a dreamer, people who were in this country legally, but they were brought here as children. They're eligible. But outside of that, you can't hold these particular positions. Yeah. Exactly. And so when I reported on the complaint that was filed, we learned that the state within hours ended up expelling 4 new recruits under the eligibility issue.
So more in the pipeline for this employment.
Exactly. But those were not at the time. These are not like corrections officers.
Gotcha.
Well, we've since learned today, King County's jail announced that there were some mistakes made. And there are now questions as to whether or not they've hired people and are currently employed who should not be in this position. As of a little while ago, the unofficial, unconfirmed number is in the 30s. Now, that's an unconfirmed number. They're downplaying this a little bit at the King County jails, essentially saying, it's nowhere near the 130. I don't care if it's like 1, that's like a major screw up, but we know for certain 4, and we know that there are employees today who have been contacted about this very issue, and they're acknowledging at the county level, we made a mistake.
We made mistakes. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a quick question about this. Where did the original 130 number come from?
I don't know. This was part of the complaint that was filed.
Gotcha.
I don't know whether or not that person got it from anywhere. I mean, King County, we've covered this for a while now, actually. The corrections department there is severely understaffed.
Yeah.
And the county went on a hiring spree, and it would appear that they did not vet everyone the way that they should have been vetted.
This is an official release from the communications specialist, Noah Haglund at Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention. I'm sure you got the same release. And it says, let me find the right, because they address that.
Here if you want.
The officers in question are all authorized to work in the United States, are highly trained for their roles, have undergone extensive criminal background process, are in a good standing with King County. So what they're saying is they misinterpreted a rule as to who was eligible for these positions and who wasn't.
The DACA point. Yes. So what they're saying here is, we hired people for these positions incorrectly.
Yeah.
They can work in this country, they say.
Yeah,
They're going through the numbers, and I don't, we'll find out what they actually find out. But they're saying they just can't hold these positions. I'm guessing because they ran that King County line in there, they'll probably try to find them work within the county where they're eligible.
Well, it seems they're qualified to do the job. They're highly trained for these roles. They've passed extensive criminal background checks.
How is it?
So just for context on that, that just means they went through the state commission for training. It doesn't necessarily mean that they've got a background in this, which is what I think that implies.
No, they said background checks.
Some do.
Yeah, they've trained. So they're trained for the roles.
Yeah, they are trained. They went through the process, much like the recruits.
Yeah, got it.
My question though is, how could you go through the process? If you don't have. I mean, it's not like they're being hired to, work as a. These are secure positions. I assume that there's also some access to like weapons and stuff, like to defend themselves from inmates. They're in an authority over people who are being locked up. These people, I think, would be under extra scrutiny. So why is it that part of their hiring process was missed?
That'll be for King County Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention to explain. I don't know. I suspect, and I can't prove this, of course. I suspect there was some of this intentionally, in that we just didn't check or didn't care to check because we didn't want to know the answer, because they were in a hiring spree and they needed desperately
needed numbers
staff members. And let's not pretend that King County in particular, this government, when these were hired, these were under presumably Dow Constantine, not the current executive.
Mm-hmm.
They went out of their way to point out we're a sanctuary county. Right. We bring everyone in, and I think it might have been don't
We're
ask,
happy to
don't
look the other
tell
way.
sort of
Well,
situation.
they're saying it's an honest misinterpretation of the rules.
That is what they're saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't necessarily
So
believe that.
Yeah.
If it was 1 or 2,
we have 30.
Fine, I'll say. But if it ends up becoming 30, again, I don't know if that's the number.
But that was
if that becomes the number, that's not a simple. That seems hard to believe that it was a simple mistake and not
To make
part of
30
a
times.
design.
Yeah. Well, the good news here is that since they were hired under Dow Constantine, they'll just
I
move
think
over to
they
light
were,
rail,
yeah.
right? They'll move over to Sound Transit, right?
Where,
they've
open
got-
arms.
Where if
They've
history
got
proves
some-
anything, they'll be paid a massive salary.
They've got law enforcement background now,
Right.
so maybe they can
Fair
be his
fair
personal
enforcement.
security guards.
No.
And drive him to bars and stuff.
Fair enforcement on the trains. We need more. These guys are trained.
We need
This is
more fair
perfect.
enforcement, not doing fair enforcement, except for you, I guess.
I've learned my lesson.
Is it
I'm a man
possible that
clean.
they could be sent over to the? I know that Mayor Bruce Harrell wants to expand the CARE program. Is it possible that they can make these the new Care Bears? Have you heard that we call them the Care Bears?
I like that name. It's cute.
That's the mission.
They rub their tummies.
Warm and fuzzy.
Rainbows come out.
Yes,
They have
I
their
remember.
theme song.
Who knows?
This would be nice for them. All right, so
It's Crime Bear.
That's
Drug Bear.
Yeah, Drug Bear.
Fentanyl just shoots out of their tummies.
Undocumented
North
bear. Here's
Fentanyl pipes, clean needles.
That's Needle Bear.
just running around with those horrible kits that they give everybody so
man.
depressingly.
Harm reduction
good
bear.
golly. All right,
On the scene.
here's the other story that people should be
Taking
paying
light rail
attention
to the
to.
scene.
Mayor Katie, I called her Mayor Katie Wilson. I must be in a time machine from a month from now.
Oh, from your lips to the voters' ears.
This is mayoral candidate Katie Wilson, who was on your show. Am I right, Jason?
Yes, correct.
Was on your show and was talking about this idea that she has to pay for local journalism, independent journalism, and she worries about that. She worries that we don't have enough of that locally here, and so she wants to come up with interesting ways of paying for that. Tell us a bit about that and why it's such a interesting idea.
No,
or
it's
bad
not
idea.
to her credit, she says, it's not a fully developed idea, but it's something called news notes where individual taxpayers would get $100 in subsidies that they can then give to their preferred local media
Like a
outlet
democracy
of choice.
voucher.
It's like a journalism voucher, essentially. And, she said it's not necessarily meant for larger corporations, but it's for, she actually said radio, but also like local blogs, things like that, where you can then use this to help them, which I find to be a horrible idea for so many different reasons.
You know how many people would send you $100 though?
You know what? I don't want the $100 from them for that because I don't
gets
think
paid
that
enough.
you, as a taxpayer,
He gets
Spike,
paid plenty.
should go to a conservative media outlet that you don't necessarily want to fund. And if you want to fund me, you get to give me all your money if you want. And I don't want to give my tax dollars to the stranger or to any outlet that I don't think is a legitimate news source or does things honestly. And I wouldn't be offended. I'm not offended for any liberal to say, I don't want my tax dollars going to SeattleRed.com.
Sure.
Like, I totally get that. If you want to support an individual outlet, you get to support it. And her argument is essentially that, well, it's hard for people to subscribe to every single outlet that maybe has a paywall as a way to support themselves. And
okay.
I mean, I get that to a point.
Yeah.
But if you're taking out the corporate-run outlets, so you're taking out the Seattle Times, right? You're taking out the how many local blogs do that? They have right now, you can just donate to any of these media outlets. And so my point to her was, how about you just give everyone a tax credit, the equivalent of $100, and they can do whatever it is they want with it.
Yeah.
They can choose to give it to local media. They can choose not to. It's
No,
still
they can
going to be
subscribe
good
to Hulu
for
if they want.
It's good for the economy if they're spending it locally.
One of the things that you talk about in your piece, again, on SeattleRed.com, is the danger in this is that they get to decide who is news and who's not news.
Exactly. Do you want the government then to say, I consider this a news outlet that should get taxpayer subsidies, but not this? So I would be okay with The Stranger, but not SeattleRed.com. And you're opening yourself up to politicians now trying to define what a media outlet is, and you're now, as a recipient of these tax dollars, even if they're not the ones personally doling out the 100, you're now getting taxpayer fund, and then you're going to cover
It's like a quid
Seattle
pro quo.
City Hall.
Yeah.
It's, I think, a problem. It's a question.
Is this in any way like what the Trump administration has done with defunding of public radio?
No.
Why not?
How is it the same?
Well, the president's decided he has some tax-paying dollars going to
you're saying
a broadcast where he doesn't agree with.
No, he's saying taxpayer dollars shouldn't be going to media outlets, period. The reality was that just PBS and NPR, which, yes, they happen to be far left media outlets, why are they getting it and you're not here at KIRO News Radio, or I'm not at Seattle Red? It's because we're part of the media landscape. We're competing just like everybody else. They get a leg up. And that just shows you some unfair competition. The government is picking a winner. So I'm against these news notes the same way I'm in support of not giving taxpayer dollars for the same reasons. I should not be funding PBS. I should not be funding NPR.
Because it's slanted to a point of view.
Because it's a media
with.
outlet.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, yes, correct.
That's fair.
Now, if
I'm
I
not casting judgment,
liked NPR, which I don't because it's incredibly boring and I don't care about anything they report on, I would give them money the same way you could choose, and you get a nice little tote bag and a little mug.
I tend to believe that they have, while they are slanted in their point of view, and or at least they have.
I mean, they're slanted.
Yeah.
You could say
they are. They also provide a community service to a lot of places where they are the only option for broadcast.
Like where?
Like in the middle of America with farm reports, with safety
reports. They don't
reports.
have any access to any other media outlet. Because remember, we were told, and this was bad timing, I think, probably for the argument on that side. We were told that they wouldn't get any information like tsunami warnings and whatnot. And then we just happened to have a tsunami warning that happened, I think, that weekend that everybody learned about, and NPR didn't even cover it.
But there are examples where NPR is the sole source of information for many smaller, tiny markets.
Maybe for some radio, but
that's what I'm speaking to.
No, I hear you, but I would argue if we lived in a world in which we didn't have access to the interweb and have all of this information, you might have an argument. And that was an argument at the time. Yeah, come on. We don't have the same. You have everyone pretty much has access now to a cell phone. They do. True. And you're talking about maybe, how about this? Here's a compromise. For the 13 communities that have literally no cell coverage and only NPR, which is very few people. Okay, I'll go ahead and subsidize that.
That's what I'm saying. Because
why are we subsidizing Seattle's?
I'm with you there too. That there are markets that don't have
Is there a community that only gets their news from NPR? They have no access to the internet? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, or television or anything. That is an overstated position. Could you maybe find like a small handful that impacts 17 people? Maybe. Sure, I will grant you that.
And that is an over-exaggeration of the situation too, as much as mine is.
Give me the numbers.
I'll be glad to.
Okay.
Let me.
And in fairness, I don't have this off top of my head. I don't either.
But I guarantee you, and I guarantee you, there are communities that do not have internet access out there.
But they have NPR.
But they have public radio, yeah.
They need to hear about all things considered.
I'll be happy. Who doesn't?
But see, that's what they're getting. That's the other thing that's missing in all
NPR
of
in these tiny communities where they have no internet, they're listening to national stories out of D.C.
Exactly. This idea that
they're listening to local farm reports, listening to weather reports, or listening to local.
What percentage do you think that makes of the NPR coverage in these communities? It's a small number.
That's what I'm saying. And those people deserve to have some representation of their tax dollars.
I don't mean to laugh.
But I know.
It's funny.
That was a chuckle.
They're literally talking to them in first person. We're talking about such a small amount. They're like, hey, Kevin, there's going to be rain tomorrow.
Yeah, that's an exaggeration of the point, but the point is still valid. That there are communities out there that don't have internet connectivity, that have small markets, and I'll give you
few.
I give you that there are very few.
I believe that you've seen something. Please show me. I would love to see it.
Yeah,
I would love to see it.
I'm not trying to,
And I want to
dunk
send.
on you.
I want to send that small.
Yeah.
I know you would never dunk on me, Spike.
I'm not tall enough. Look how tall you are. You were in the NBA.
I would be willing to spend. I was for 4 seasons. People don't know that about me as a ball boy.
You like to brag.
I would be willing to send that small farming community. I would love to send them a donation.
$100?
I'd send that local farming community that Spike's going to find when we come back from break. He's going to have it for us.
Yes.
That has no access to internet.
You're paying. Now
has no access to internet and has only NPR to give them farm reports.
The over-under is 4. Are you taking the over or the under?
Communities.
Less than. All right. Again.
I love this job.
When we come
Send
back,
your dollars now. It's a fundraiser.
And I'm going to make a donation, Spike, to this tiny, small farming community, this rural community where Kevin the farmer.
They can't have
there's no
cell
internet
coverage
access, no
either.
cell coverage.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Television is out. Nothing.
Can they have Starlink, or is that unfair? Because that's everywhere.
Well, then he'll cut him off when Russia goes to war with him, like he did last time. Don't get me started.
Actually, no, he gave it to you. It's the exact opposite of that story.
I'm having fun here.
All right. When we come back, Spike's going to have the name of that town for us so that I can make my donation because it's very important.
Can't just say Springfield.
Salute, Springfield. They're 29 Springfield.
Here we go. I'm excited about this, Spike. This is going to be fun. Jason Rantz from the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 AM. Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Oh, Spike, I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't want to have to make the donation, but please find it. All right, when we come back, we got a lot more coming up, so stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join us tomorrow morning. It's do or die for the Mariners, Game 5 of the ALDS. Luke Ducey will be at T-Mobile Park to help you get ready for the game. Seahawks, Jaguars, hear from head coach Mike McDonald. Not a sports fan? Still plenty to do. Paul Holden has your weekend planner. Hope you can join us tomorrow for all the day's news, traffic, and weather, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Ooh, hey, remember those yodelers who met in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart. You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you use the carpool lanes along SR 167 after October 20th, you will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Israel and Hamas have agreed in principle to a deal that could end more than 2 years of war in Gaza. CBS's Erica Brown has more.
In Egypt, Israel and Hamas signed a deal Thursday in what the White House calls phase 1 of a peace plan proposed by President Trump.
We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace.
Well, the Israeli government still needs to sign off on the ceasefire proposal. President Trump says he plans to fly to the Middle East this weekend to attend an official peace deal signing. 9 days now into the government shutdown, much of the conversation remains the same. Washington Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal says her party's demands are clear.
Cancel the cuts from the big bad betrayal bill, extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits so that 22 million Americans don't see their premiums double, and lower healthcare costs for everyone so that people don't die.
Republicans will continue to do the right and responsible thing, and I think at the end of the day, we will prevail because what the Democrats just want to do is madness.
That is Washington Republican Congressman Michael Baumgartner. He was speaking to Seattle Reds' Jason Rantz. Sound Transit says it's running special Sounder trains for tomorrow night's Mariners game at T-Mobile Park. Trains from Lakewood and Everett will arrive at the King Street station at least 90 minutes before first pitch at 5:08. The M's are looking to clinch a spot in the ALCS for the first time since 2001. Fans are optimistic.
They're going to win tomorrow. They're going to win tomorrow. That's all we have, right? We have to have hope. And I think it's their time.
Winter will face the Blue Jays in Toronto this Sunday. And don't sleep on the Kraken. The team hits the ice tonight, beginning their 5th season at home.
Brian Winterton right in. He scores! Hey, hey! What do you say? Ryan Winterton!
They will face the Anaheim Ducks at Climate Pledge Arena. Seattle has never won a season opener. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:32 with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. Subaru of Puyallup has the update. And we've got a big issue up in Everett, North 5, just past the Boeing Freeway. This collision blocks 3 left lanes. You're backed up bumper to 164th and Linwood. Seattle to Everett just hit the 1 hour mark, about a half-hour delay. With all of that delay in this backup alone, due to this backup, eastbound 526, the Boeing Freeway itself is stacked up to the Boeing plant. And now northbound on Evergreen Way is filling in all the way up to 41st. Delay that trip through Everett if you can. South 5, you're looking at scattered backups from 41st to State Route 526. Heading into Seattle, Linwood to Seattle, just a 20-minute trip. You're looking good, eventually slowing down in the U District. North 5 crowded from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton, give yourself 25 minutes. And at Puyallup, we're still on scene of this collision westbound 512, just past Pioneer Way. It's in that left lane, and you're now backed up bumper to bumper onto the Valley Freeway starting way back in Algona. Traffic is stressful. One thing that's always stress-free, pricing on over 300 new Subarus with easy financing at Subaru of Puyallup. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Mostly dry today and mostly cloudy as well. Tomorrow, showers increase. Likely we'll have the roof closed for tomorrow night's Game 5 between the Mariners and Tigers. More rain Saturday, with snow levels also approaching 4,000 feet by Sunday. Right now looking at 62 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It's crazy stuff going on in Auburn. But before we get to that, Spike, last segment, I was gonna make a donation. We were talking about where NPR is. Do you want to update on that? Do we have an update on that?
Sure. Well, what we said was during our conversation with Jason Rance that PBS serves a portion of America that doesn't have internet access, that doesn't have cell phone coverage, and relies on public radio for emergency farm reports, local information. While I don't have a specific city that you can send $100 to, 13% of Americans do not have internet access.
Well, that
13%. Well, what we're saying is
criteria.
Well, what we're saying was that there are communities in America that rely on radio exclusively for their information. 13% of Americans, mostly in the rural Southeast, rural Southwest, mountain regions, don't have internet access.
Hotbeds of PBR or PBR. Hotbeds of PBS listenership.
But these are communities that often have spotty cell phone coverage as well.
Okay.
And there are communities.
So they do have cell phones.
Oftentimes, yeah.
Which can get internet access.
Not if there's no internet access. You're talking about Wi-Fi access at that point. They don't have internet access.
You can't get internet through your phone without connected to Wi-Fi?
If you get out.
Yes, of course you can. Yeah, you don't have to have Wi-Fi.
Through 5G?
No, I go through my phone all the time. If I don't have the Wi-Fi bars, I'm going through.
You're using internet connection. You're using the cell phone coverage, right?
Cell phone coverage,
That's what I'm saying. These communities that don't have internet also have spotty cell phone coverage. We're talking about rural Montana. We're talking about
I go to Montana every summer. All my family's in Montana.
Anecdotally, that's probably true. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm saying that there are portions of this country where the only way people are reached is through radio broadcast.
I'm not arguing that there's parts where you have spotty cell phone coverage.
That's all I said.
What I was saying was, before the break, you were saying that there's towns where they only get their information through NPR for farm reports. I want to make a donation. I'm a charitable guy.
I'll find you a home that needs $100.
All right, you'll find me one.
What I'm saying is there are portions of this country, Southwest, Southeast.
Everyone knows there's spotty cell coverage sure.
That's what I'm saying. These are small markets that don't have corporate broadcast radio, and they rely on public broadcasting for information.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're both saying the same thing. I'm just saying, and Jason's saying it's 13 people. You said 4. I think it's somewhere between that. It's probably 9 people.
Probably 9 people.
But there are people nonetheless.
All the same family.
Yeah. The people who pay taxes. and deserve to have information available to them.
Do they deserve $1.1 billion to go to them, though?
We're talking about numbers
That's the amount of funding that they were getting.
Well,
I don't know if you need it. I don't know if they need it. They clearly don't, because they didn't shut down. They got the funding taken away, and they didn't shut down. So
some stations did. But
sometimes you stand on your own 2 feet, and it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Good
Until
for them.
the tsunami hits.
Good for them.
Then you're knocked off your 2 feet. No, because nobody told you.
Which is what they have to worry about in rural Montana. The tsunamis in Montana.
Or fires.
That they're going to get through NPR. Yes.
Windstorms in the rural southeast.
Right,
hurricanes.
Can we get to a serious story?
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to belabor that point, but yeah.
No.
I care about the forgotten American.
And listeners out there, if you can help Spike out so I can make a donation, you let us know.
You bet.
Auburn Mayor,
I'll kick in on that too. I'll pay some of that.
I don't need you to.
I want to help those people.
No. I want to cover this one, Spike.
It's about the people.
I want to cover this one. I feel like my money is safe. Auburn Mayor, listen to this. Okay, so we told you the story a few days ago. South Hill rapist Kevin Coe, whose actual name is Frederick Harlan Coe. Kevin, I guess, is just a nickname. But
his parents made him change it, I bet.
Kevin Ho. Kevin Coe, C-O-E. Known as the South Hill rapist, sent away to prison for, I believe his first term was for 25 years?
25 years in lockup.
25 years. He spent an additional 20 years on McNeil Island.
Refusing recovery and therapy.
Refusing treatment.
Rehabilitation.
Didn't get the therapy. Never admitted to guilt. Actually made statements indicating that he believed that he was the victim and wrongfully there. And he was just released. He is listed as a level 3 sex offender, which according to the story means that the state considers him highly likely to reoffend. although he is 77 and he has some mobility issues apparently.
Severe health issues, yeah. As per the judge who decided to let him run.
You and I disagreed on this. I don't think he should be let out, although he was. And then he was initially going to be sent to a home, in an adult home in Federal Way.
Yes.
Now, when news of that came out, the folks in Federal Way said, whoa, no thank you. We do not want to be known as the place where the South Hill rapist lives, even if he is old. And so we are voicing our opposition to this. So in Federal Way, they said, you know what? The people here don't want it. He's got to go somewhere else. So then they looked into where else to send him. They ended up sending him to Auburn, which we were surprised by because initially we thought he was going to go to Federal Way. And now the Auburn folks are saying, well, we didn't know he was coming, number one.
Right.
And if we had known he was coming, we would have voiced some concern. The Auburn mayor, Nancy Backus, has released a statement. She said the city of Auburn was not notified by the King County Sheriff's Office or any other agency that this guy was going to be relocated here. Like many of our residents, we learned of this recent development through newspapers and TV stations. This is not how effective public safety partnerships should operate, and we should expect better. She went on to say about the fact that he was taken out of Federal Way and then sent to Auburn because of a backlash. She says, moving people from one city to another in response to public pressure is not a sound public safety strategy. It's reactive, and it erodes community confidence. Auburn cannot and should not be treated as a commodity, as a community of last resort when other replacements are met with opposition. That's not how responsible governance works. She's totally right.
Yeah,
and
I couldn't agree more.
The fact that they didn't contact the mayor of that city to let them know that a guy who's known as the South Hill rapist is moving into your town.
Right.
I was shocked by that. Were you shocked by that?
I was shocked, but even more shocked were the citizens of Auburn who were saying, like, wait a minute, if Federal Way is able to say no thank you, you know, why are we getting this guy in our place? And I was looking into this. We saw the story before the show started. I tried to do some research as to where he is being housed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really no public information about that. And I understand the privacy concerns.
We do know where it's located. We know where it's located.
We know the name of the facility?
I don't know the name of it, but
okay.
I know where it's I know the address.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. So he is living at the 2900 block of 15th Street Southeast in Auburn.
It's a private elder care facility?
It's an adult home. That's what they said.
Yeah, an adult home.
Yeah. So he's going to be there, the South Hill rapist is. So if you are a citizen there who has kids in the area, multiple neighbors nearby Auburn told King 5. Do we have audio on this? I don't think we have audio on this, actually. Multiple neighbors in Auburn told King 5 they were concerned about Coe being in the neighborhood, saying that there were several children nearby and that this new residence is in close proximity to a park for young kids. Now, I have a question about that. I was under the impression that if somebody is a level 3 sex offender and they have to register as a sex offender, which he did, which is why they know he's in Auburn.
Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to be so many feet.
500. I think it's 500
feet from a park.
Yeah.
So obviously he must be further than 500 feet away from the park or just on the 500-foot line.
Well, and you're right. And I don't know that his physical condition, they say he has extreme health concerns. He's bound to a wheelchair. If that gives them, an out for allowing him this close to a park.
I'd be surprised.
I'd be surprised
too. I would be disappointed if that was an out. I mean, if you have a level 3 sex offender, the state considers him highly likely to reoffend. Why is
this house an acceptable place to park him for the remainder of his days?
Yeah, and I would be very, very upset. Condolences to the people in Auburn who are now finding out that they have to pick up the pieces after Federal Way correctly voiced their concern and said, we don't want this guy in our neighborhood.
So let me ask you this real quick. And I know we're on different sides of this. The judge deemed he wasn't a threat.
Yeah.
Whether we feel he should or shouldn't, experience any type of freedom given what he's done.
Sure.
I'm on your side on that one. If the judge deems he's not a threat to this community, is it as worrisome?
Yes.
For this community to have him there? Why?
Yeah,
Why?
Of course. Because he's the South Hill rapist.
He used to be.
He still is. He's still a rapist. He still raped that woman. He was still convicted of that. He
served his time.
He was alleged to have done between 30 and 40 rapes.
Right.
That's a person that nobody should have to have in their community if they voice concerns and they don't want him there. This is a guy who, if he moved into my neighborhood, I would have some real concerns, and I would have spoken to the mayor, and I would feel completely justified to be very loud about it. as they were in Federal Way, correctly, and as the mayor of Auburn has stated correctly, that they should not have to hold this guy in their neighborhood just because Federal Way didn't want him. I think the judge made a huge mistake. And if the state still considers him a level 3 sex offender, highly likely to reoffend, that's on these, I mean, that's the documents I was reading.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because of the fact that he's in a wheelchair for now, I don't know why he's able to be released if he didn't participate in any of the programs that he was on McNeil Island to go through.
When we first saw the story last week, I was like, well, there's got to be more information we aren't getting, because for the judge to make this call, given that what we do know is that he wouldn't take part in any kind of rehabilitational programs or
didn't
therapies.
admit guilt that we saw anywhere.
Right.
For me, that would be a big, important part of the puzzle. For me to feel comfortable,
well said, man.
to be moving next to... These people didn't do anything wrong. They shouldn't have to live next door to somebody whose name is a South Hill rapist.
Okay, well
But
done.
that's my crazy opinion.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, we got text messages coming up next. Lots of stuff. Stick around. Be right back.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you, because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Doc, the one question I keep getting is, was it painful? Should I be nervous about the procedure for a refractive lens exchange? Do you get that question a lot?
Well, definitely, Spike. And I would expect everyone to be a little bit nervous about this. This is a procedure on your eyes. When you come, I think you'll be very comforted by our team. A little bit of medication under the tongue or orally so that you get nice and relaxed. Procedure itself typically takes between 5 and 7 minutes, is utterly painless before, during, and after the procedure. So once they're done, the most common thing we hear by far is, I can't believe it was that easy. I can't believe I waited that long to have this done.
Do what I did. Schedule a consultation to learn everything you need to know from the best. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. 425-451-2020. That's 425-451-2020. Or go online to sharp-vision.com. Sharp with an E-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
There is one real estate agent who's been helping KIRO listeners longer than anyone else, and that's Wes Jones with sellwithwes.com. Wes, you've helped KIRO listeners in good markets and more difficult ones. What do you think has been the secret to your success?
Experience has taught us that to outperform the market, we needed to do things differently from the status quo, that we needed to do more. Our exclusive system covers innovative marketing locally and internationally, leading to more eyeballs on your home, better listing prep for better showings, negotiation strategies that eliminate pesky buyer contingencies, and generate stronger offers. Through our exclusive client programs, our sellers enjoy an extraordinary marketing experience utilizing techniques a traditional agent cannot offer.
So if you want to sell your home faster, at a higher price, and with fewer contingencies, if you want more, visit sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Cancers impact so many, but there's hope because the UW Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing ways to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Learn more at uwcvi.org about patients who received treatment 20 years ago that are healthy today. You can help by donating to fight at your local Safeway.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got text messages galore. Man, people wrote novels on these text messages. I'm seeing this, Laura.
It's important stuff to talk about today,
Important
man.
stuff.
Yeah.
What do we have today? We have 1995 playoffs. We have Monopoly. We have Sixth Sense. Important topics.
Police
Laura?
in schools.
Police in schools, that's true.
Ghost stories. Yeah, important
This will
stuff,
be
man.
fun.
Laura, start us off. Get us going here.
On police in schools, Amy in Bremerton says, wish we didn't need it, but totally support it. We didn't have officers in our schools growing up years ago, but we raise our kiddos to respect authority, police, military, first responders, and follow the rules. If you follow the rules, you have nothing to worry about. However, in the event of a potentially dangerous situation, it is comforting to know that someone with that type of training is on site. Our middle schooler has an officer and thinks he's the coolest. FYI, we are a Hispanic family. I often hear the argument against extra support of outside resources in schools due to background.
Amy, wonderful text. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Hassani Lacey says, speaking from experience, when I was in school, the officers had an office in school, and every time we talked loud, the officers pulled us in to discipline us. Now my kids have complained about the same thing with officers at their school. I'm good with them protecting our kids, but they have no business disciplining them, and that's was written into the
That's in the new amendment
and
that they
is,
can't discipline the kids.
I think it's the leading misconception.
Yeah,
is that these SROs will be
they're there to police your kids? They're not. They're there to protect them. Let's see. Mike at Edmond said, why don't they let the kids and the teachers vote on whether or not they want someone in their school? We want the kids and the teachers and the people working in the schools to feel safe. The parents and the school board are secondary, in my opinion. I disagree. I do think there is value in having the whole community, obviously the parents and the school board. The school board shouldn't have been as silly as they were in this situation. I think the parents' opinions, in my opinion, are actually more important than the school board opinions. I think the school board is representing, should have done a better job of representing the school in this case, where we know that the administrative staff in that school wanted SROs there. So the school board saying no to that, I think, was a mistake. But they would be last on my list for the people that I care about there. All right, let's move on to something else.
Yeah,
So-
on the 1995 playoffs, that
Bingo.
clip we played earlier, 425 says, I have goosebumps.
Yeah, we played that clip of Edgar hitting a double.
Tamara in Tacoma says, I was there. And it was freaking the best thing of my life.
That was a magical moment in history,
was.
and
I was
we
in
are
the
on the
building.
precipice of
I'll never-
another magical moment in
Yeah,
history.
there you go.
It could
Boom.
be tomorrow. It will be
We have
tomorrow.
to speak it into existence.
Yes.
We have to manifest it.
It will be tomorrow. Let's see. Joel in Big Lake says, I just got a little choked up hearing Dave Niehaus just now. I sure miss him. Yeah, Dave's voice is singular. What an amazing talent he was.
I don't mean, no, you're right. I was reading ahead because on Seattle Monopoly, Jason and Everett says they can't do a Seattle Monopoly game because nobody's allowed to go to jail in Seattle. That or they'd have,
Super funny.
they'd have to remove the go to jail place on the board.
Also, there'd just be homeless encampments everywhere, which would be really.
Well, they wouldn't put up buildings or houses. You put up tents.
Yeah. If you and you, that's
And
fine.
I'll be the shopping cart in
If you
this
wanted
game.
to put up houses, you'd have to apply for a permit that would never happen, and it would take years, and the game would never get finished.
Well, that's already true of Monopoly.
There you go.
On me watching The Sixth Sense, 425 says she won't watch it. She is just trying to get you to stop talking about it. I've heard the same tone from my own adult kids, a placating tone.
No, Laura's not placating us. She's going to watch Sixth Sense.
I will, but I will say I'm hosting a movie night tonight.
Okay.
Sixth Sense was not on the menu, and we did a vote between two movies, and I want you guys to weigh in because right now we need a tiebreaker.
All right.
My friends and I will either watch, and I've never seen either of these movies, by the way, obviously.
Okay.
Either watch The Dark Knight,
Okay.
or The Matrix.
Ooh, Dark Knight, Matrix, and are we putting Sixth Sense on the table?
Are you willing to throw Sixth Sense into the mix?
I could throw it in the group chat.
It's a dark horse that I think you should consider. It's very good, and it's the Halloween time of year.
Yeah.
It's a
great choice for the season.
I would recommend it.
It's the pumpkin spice latte of your choices.
Other than that, I
Okay.
go Dark Knight. Very quickly, we
Dark
have
Knight.
seconds.
Really?
Dark Knight.
Okay.
Have you
Dark
never
Knight.
seen The
Two
Dark Knight?
Knights.
I can't believe I'm even asking this.
All right.
Oh,
It's Thursday today, which means we have Friday tomorrow, which is just the best day of the week. I hope everybody has a wonderful night. We'll see you back here tomorrow. John Curley's coming up next. Bye-bye.
Return by Easley.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 45, Kenny Easley. As pure an athlete as has ever played, saw him the very first day at training camp after his first-round draft choice. All of us veterans looked at each other and said, we've got something here, and we sure did.
The Seahawks are in Jacksonville, facing the up-and-coming Jaguars on Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m., pregame at 7.
Right here on KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
This message is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. As a credit union dedicated to serving all veterans, active duty, and their families, we know that during the holiday season, every little bit counts. That's why for a limited time, you could earn a $250 cash bonus when you spend $2,500 on the Cash Rewards and Cash Rewards Plus cards in the first 90 days. Give joy, get joy. Join now at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Cashback terms and conditions apply. Visit NavyFederal.org/cash rewards for details. Offer ends 1/1/26.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange, a permanent solution to distance, intermediate, and near vision problems. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless.
And because we've performed over 100,000 procedures and followed the outcomes, we have the experience to know if RLE is right for you.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com and let's get your vision feeling young again, permanently.
Go to k2visionrle.com.
Did you know September is historically one of the strongest months to sell a home, and there's typically a post-Labor Day boost that runs through October and sometimes even later. So is now the time to sell your home, and how much is it worth? Well, get an estimate of your home's value instantly at sellwithwest.com. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. Go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from Wes Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO.